Welcome to our, I think it's the fifth episode of That's Never Happened Before, which is, I know it's your favorite glitch centered show here on GDQ Hotfix. It's probably the only one that's specifically about glitches, but you know what? It can be your favorite. That's okay. Hi, I'm Kungfufruitcup. You can call me Fu. And today I am joined here by the
I'm
awesome,
doing great.
awesome TGH. How are you doing? Good, I'm glad to hear it. So TGH is a well-known Zelda runner. Celeste, you do a bunch of games. I want to ask you about it, but real quick, I just want to remind anybody who's new, watching with us for the first time, about the show. Again, this is a glitch-centered show. I keep wanting to say showcase, but that's because you might occasionally see showcases on here. We've had one happen. We have another one coming up. It's going to be great. Um, but you'll see runs here that speed runs kind of broken down. So not only are they going to be broken down in terms of being glitch heavy, but we're breaking them down by slowing down occasionally, talking about the nitty gritty, what goes into the glitches, how are they set up, what's the history behind them, like what's how do you do them or how do they work. So we get to just learn a lot more than you typically get to hear about at like a main stage GDQ, because we have more time for it and we get to really, really chat more back and forth. So, as we go along throughout the show today, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in chat. I'll be keeping an eye out, since I will be, in the background, just asking questions and providing any kind of follow ups with TGH as he goes along. So, TGH, I wanted to know, like, how long have you actually been running Zelda in general? Because,
Oh god, the first Zelda game that I learned was actually Link's Awakening DX, which I will be playing later. This was actually
nice.
the original Link's Awakening, released in '93. But I think I learned LADX as a 12-hour challenge actually back in January of 2016.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
yeah, I've been like, as far as elapsed time goes, I've been running Zelda for a little more than 5 years. But I took quite a bit of time off from this game. I took like almost 3 years off from the classic Link's Awakenings to run other things,
Mhm.
like the game called Celeste, for instance. Um, and now I'm back and running these games, and I'm really having a blast with it. So there's been a lot of things that have been found since then, as
Mhm.
far as just like strats, micro optimizations. But and I mean, okay, so sorry, I'm getting into not really answering the question anymore, but
No, you're
basically,
fine. I love it. This is we can talk, this is a show, we can all talk about it. We can talk as
yeah,
much as you
yeah,
want.
for sure, for sure. But like I'm gonna be doing two runs today. I'm gonna be doing Link's Awakening Warpless, which is the main category of the original Link's Awakening, which is what you're seeing right now. And I'm gonna be doing 100% no restrictions, which is exactly what it sounds like, of Link's Awakening DX. This is going to be mild as far as glitches go
Yeah, more
in
straightforward.
relation to the no restrictions run. So basically, yeah, there's a reason I'm doing this first and then that last, because like,
Right.
yeah, so
So there's definitely a pattern that I've noticed throughout the episodes of the show we've had so far where we get to see I just like the contrast that we've been getting to see between games, whether it's like two different styles of Zelda games or like we're seeing two different versions of this game specifically, or we
yeah,
were just
essentially
like
the same
here's
game.
like yeah, or like a number of things within the horror category, like what I really like the back and forth. I think it's really cool. Even with Sonic, our first episode, we had Sonic Adventure 2 and then Sonic Heroes. And while they were in what looked to be the same engine, they ran super differently because,
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
they had
and
different mechanics. So,
don't be fooled by the similar appearances of these two games. Like, they are actually totally different as far as well, I mean, mechanically they are pretty much the same except for like menus and stuff, but they both have their fair share of their own glitches. So like, for instance, also these are two totally different categories as well, with different
mhm,
restrictions and whatnot. And I'll showcase some of the things you can't do as well. Um,
awesome.
they're just banning. It's funny because banning wrong warps changes this category quite a bit,
Yeah.
and we're gonna see a lot of wrong warps in the DX run. So
Yeah, for sure. If there's anything, again, like anything throughout these two games that you decide you're like, it's not relevant to the run, but like, here's a cool thing you can do, we can include that
oh
like
yeah,
during the run
there
or
will absolutely be that. Yeah.
okay, or like at the end, just wherever you feel is appropriate. Because, like, again, we have the time for it. This is like part of what we want to do. We want to just showcase what is within these games that glitch hunters and speedrunners have found over the years.
Mhm.
And of course, you're really knowledgeable. I know that you recently have been working on world record pace for at least one of these categories. Which one did
Yeah,
you have world record right
I've
now, right?
I've recently been grinding this game. I've been on and off grinding Link's Awakening Warpless, which is this category. I recently just got the first ever 41-minute time, or 41xx, as people say. But
Nice.
yeah, which I was excited for that. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
you
think
were grinding this out. Yeah.
yeah, but I've put a lot of work into it for sure. A lot of work into it.
That's awesome. Would you say that like, is there a version you prefer? I know you also run the remake.
Okay, so there's a particular trick in this game that really makes me prefer DX, and that's instrument cutscene skip. We'll get to that. We'll get to everything involving that when it comes up.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I already have a question in my head, but I'll wait till we actually start for that.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of anything else around like, do you think there's anything you've learned, especially since Zelda's been kind of your OG speed game, that you've been able to carry into other games that you run?
I mean, like, every speed game I learn makes me a better speedrunner, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet that that's the same for a lot of people. But basically, like, it's you as you gain experience in running, like you get better at running other games just because you develop better practice habits, develop better mentality and whatnot. And it's like definitely the entire hobby, like, benefits itself from the individual pieces of it, so
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great way to state it. I actually haven't, in all of my interviews, I haven't heard somebody say something like that before. And I think that's really
Really?
useful. Yeah, I know. It's
that's
surprising.
surprising. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
surprising.
agree. Even my other interview with you that we've done before. But that interview really had you just calling out keys for what speedrunning. Uh,
Sounds like me.
it was something about Undertale.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you were calling him out. Like, I'll do this when Keys does this, and it was really
No,
funny.
no,
have
I
it
think
saved.
I think he said when is Undertale, and I said to him when is Sonic 3D Blast, and I'm still
Oh,
waiting for Keys to run Sonic 3D
yeah, you
Blast.
knew he literally he literally crossed his arms. He's like, Undertale happened when Keys learned Sonic 3D Blast, and it's so sassy. It's one of my favorite moments from my GQ interviews. It's so funny. Um, so this is the energy that we have today. I'm really excited. Also, I just see in chat, with the That's Never Happened Before, what's another great thing about this show that I've noticed is that we tend to have that happen at least once per show. So who knows if we're
I'm
gonna have it
ready to
happen
continue
again.
the trend.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm
Well,
ready
I'm
for that.
really hyped to get into the games and to see all this again. Anybody who has questions, just feel free to post them. I will find the appropriate times to ask, and I'll be trying to like catch him for anything that he might be skipping over that would be fun for us to learn about. And I love Link's Awakening. It's like my favorite handheld Zelda. It was like one of my first Zelda games ever. Loved it.
It's
like
my
really-
favorite 2D Zelda for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like my little childhood Zelda is so good. Okay, so really excited. Yeah, I'm ready to get into it whenever you are.
Awesome. I'm also ready.
All right, sweet. So, I'm sure we'll
so-
be switching over. Feel free to count down, or I can do it too.
All right, awesome. I'll count down from 5, I think.
Okay. Sounds good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so very cool. Once again, thanks for having me on the show. But this is the original Link's Awakening, released in 1993. I'm using the dark blue and sort of red palette because it is the best palette. Don't at me. You can like change your palette. Well, not with the original GBC games if you play on Game Boy Player and whatnot, or
Is this
GBC.
Are these the default colors for this, or what?
No. This is the left and A palette actually.
Okay. So when
The main palette.
when it like automatically gives colors, what colors are they usually? I forget. I've seen
They're like kind of a disgusting red and green.
it. Okay. Great.
It's like, yeah, so
That sounds
you
good.
didn't want to see that for an hour and a half, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So, you'll notice that. So let me just make sure these guys don't kill me. So you'll notice maybe a couple times upon walking down here that you can actually clip into a wall up to 3 pixels. So like you'll see right here. I can't really stay here for that long because here, but okay. So you'll see on this screen, I'm actually clipped into this wall 3 pixels, right? That'll be more important later on. As far as walking to the sword, it's more or less just kind of an optimization type thing for less overall movement and less travel
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
But yeah, that'll become more important later.
You just
So
naturally, the game just gives you kind of the extra room to just walk a little bit into a wall to begin with.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you walk into it from the side, you can be that far clipped into a wall. It won't let you clip into it if you just like walk into it.
Hmm.
If you walk into the corner and walk alongside of it, it'll let you clip in.
Gotcha.
I'm doing something right now called early sword as well. It's real easy. There we go. So you're not supposed to be able to get the sword before the owl flies away. But if you hold your shield out, so fun fact about this game, your shield has its own hitbox. And that is also important for this upcoming trick. So, and what that does, by the way, is so you can actually extend your hitbox essentially 1 pixel out to the right, and it lets you get the sword early.
Oh, nice.
One other thing it lets you do is since the shield has its own hitbox, you can actually duplicate rupees, and we'll see if I can do it. So you'll see. Oh wow, that was actually super lucky. So you'll see that only 2 rupees dropped from those enemies, but I got 4. I got 4 rupees total.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's actually super lucky because that's actually frame rule dependent as well. Frame rule is just a fancy way of saying that things can only happen on certain frames. In this case, rupees can only duplicate every other frame. So you need for the rupee to both hit Link and his shield at the same time, and also for the frame rule to line up so that it happens. So yeah, basically I got 2 rupee drops and I got 4 rupees from it.
That's
And that
pretty
one
cool.
that one always dupes for some reason, but that was actually super good RNG, by the way. So we need 10 rupees
Okay.
because we need to quote unquote buy bombs. And there's a reason I put those in quotations. By the way, rupee duping, we believe it can sort of be attributed to someone by the name of Shadow D2. However, by the way, shout outs to Astronomus for keeping like a full list of like glitches and stuff that have been found throughout the years.
Nice.
I definitely used that for sure to like determine who to attribute certain glitches and tricks to. By the way, we just stole a shovel.
Oh, you stole it.
Yeah, we stole a shovel. That's worth 200 rupees, and we don't feel like paying 200 rupees, so
So now you're a thief,
we're
right?
just gonna
Doesn't he
steal
call
it.
you thief
Yeah,
for the rest of the game?
right here, by the way, very small flashing lights warning for the shop, because the shop owner does kill you.
Yes.
But yeah, the one in LADX is way worse. I will also be issuing a warning for that as well.
Interesting.
All right, so I said quote unquote buy bombs. Okay, so a couple things go into this, and there's a reason I put it in quotations as well. We don't actually buy the bombs. Instead, we just get the bombs or make the game think we're buying the bombs and then save and quit before we give the rupees away. So we can go up to the shopkeeper like this, hit yes, and then immediately save and quit, or immediately open the save and quit menu. And you can see we got the bombs, but we did not pay the 10 rupees.
And then you keep the money.
Yep.
So it's just really quick timing.
Yep. And we're also going to steal the bow. All right, that's ours.
That was fast.
So yeah, we do it that way. We do it in that order: the bow, or excuse me, the shovel steal, and then the bomb buying, and then the bow. In order to only die once to the shopkeeper, who kills you whenever you steal something.
Oh, right.
And then re-enter the
and
shop.
then return. Yeah.
Yep. So this is something called quick sword. This is a little like micro optimization. You can actually skip the sword swing animation by holding sword out and just like turning. So when you're why that works is because when you're up against the kid here, like the game won't let you press A to like swing your sword at the kid because I guess that's too violent. So instead it lets you. Let me see if I can do it. You can do it without holding the sword. Like, say I pressed right and sword at the same time, and it just like brought the sword out.
Interesting. Okay.
You can skip text in this game, by the way, with the save and quit menu. So that's going to be very apparent here. So I'm going to hold every button. So the way you save and quit this button in this button, the way you save and quit in this game is you hold start, select A and B all at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, I'm actually not going to do it right now because that's going to mess up my timing for the.
I love the Mario
the
items
training
in this game. It's one of my favorite things about it.
yeah. We don't use or get any of them. But
Oh.
the Yoshi doll is normally required to start the trade sequence, but we don't do
Right.
any of that in this game.
Yeah. No change
yeah.
home.
Yeah, I'll go over that a little bit later.
Yeah.
So you can actually start the training game and save and quit and skip as text at the same time, like that.
Perfect.
So, yep, and then hold B as you go over here. Immediately tap A to activate the crane, and you'll get powder every time.
Nice.
So that's how we get powder. We use the training game.
You missed the rings on the board.
Oh yeah, the rings. Yep. You know, it didn't take long, did it? It didn't take long for you to remind me of that. All right, so here, another thing about this game is that the menu works very differently between Link's Awakening and Link's Awakening DX. You can see, like, as I pause, everything in the training game kind of like continues to move a little bit after I pause. Actually, this is a bad example. Never mind. But because of that, you can actually skip an animation and or not an animation, but you can skip the text from the powder basically. But in the meantime, in order to skip the animation of the text of the menu, excuse me, like going back down or retracting or me exiting the menu, I'm going to equip bombs and then save and quit out of the menu, which is another Link's Awakening original exclusive glitch. So you can actually, it's just a little tiny optimization. So I'm going to equip bombs, which is like, I'm going to need bombs in a couple of minutes anyway.
And then you didn't have to get the powder text, got it?
Nope, yep. So so basically, all at the same time, we skip the powder text and we equip the bombs and skip the menu animation.
Okay.
Coming
Did you need to go in that house, or was that just a?
I went in the house to set a save and quit point. So pretty soon I'm going to be saving and quitting after getting the tail key, which is the key to Dungeon 1.
Okay.
And I'm going to end up at that house after I save and quit.
Remember your last house you went into, or last kind of space? Okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so coming up is actually a pretty big sequence break. We pretty much right away we do a sequence break here. So I'm gonna do something called a bomb trigger. Shoutouts to Green Tunic for originally discovering bomb triggers. So essentially what I'm gonna do is what a bomb trigger is. It's a trick to either force or skip a cutscene on the screen that you do it before. So you need to lay a bomb and then lay another bomb within 4 in-game frames. And by in-game frames, I mean like frames where you're not transitioning or in a menu. I'm going to, and this is slightly different. I'm going to be doing these in LADX as well. The glitch persists there as well. But I'm going to be laying a bomb, immediately pausing, transitioning, and holding bombs, going to the next screen. So it's going to look like this. And you'll see that cutscene just kind of automatically happened. You're supposed to have to sprinkle Terran with powder.
Oh my god.
Or the raccoon who turns back into Terran.
Doesn't he usually make you lost in the woods first?
Yeah. So we don't have to go. We don't have to go through that whole sequence.
Wait, how did it get all the way over to him?
Oh, it. So yeah, originally you have to sprinkle Terran with the powder.
Right.
The bomb trigger just kind of skips that. You don't have to do that.
That's so wild. But does he run away from you, or he sends you back and you have to find him again? And
well, originally so originally what happens is if you try to transition north to get the tail key, and you did not transform Terran back into a human, it'll transport you somewhere else in the forest.
Right.
Yeah, so doing the bomb trigger skips that. Neat little optimization here. You can actually, the game just kind of checks to see if you're facing up and touching the statue. So you can do that to enter Dungeon 1, which is pretty cool.
Okay. Are we doing these dungeons in order, or are we going to do some of them out of order?
We will do some of them in order.
Okay, some in, some out. Okay, good. Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm going to try That's what wasn't it? Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Fine.
So what
That
what happened?
All right. So right there was a chest menu. So you can open a chest and open your start menu at the same time, and kind of do the same thing that I did with the text skip with the powder,
Okay.
where you skip the animation of the menu going down as well as the chest text. I kind of
Okay.
screwed that up, but don't tell anyone. So
I won't chat. Don't tell
yeah,
anybody, please.
I don't do a ton of chess menus because they are kind of cumbersome to do. But I do a few of them, including one on the Rock's Feather, which is coming up pretty
How much
soon.
time do they typically save?
Frames.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Mirror frame.
If I had to guess, probably 15 frames.
Mhm. Right.
All right, so I'm gonna try. So hopefully I'll pull this one off a little better, and you can see a little bit better how it works. So what I did was I opened the chest, I opened the start menu at the same time, and now I'm gonna equip Feather and save and quit out of that menu.
Perfect.
So that skips the
Okay.
chest text. Like that particular one saves a bunch of time.
Nice.
By a
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah,
time, I
because
mean
then
like
you
30
warp
frames.
back as well, yeah.
Yep. Yep, exactly. Yeah, so like there are a lot of little glitches that serve as like micro optimizations. Oh, by the way, this is not one of those. This is one that's actually pretty big. This is called the super jump. So I mentioned wall clipping earlier. I almost just went and did it without even thinking, without even like explaining it. So
yeah, that's
this
what's
is
cool
what
about this show is that like
Yeah.
you just gotta catch yourself. I'll
yeah,
do it.
exactly. So this is what a super jump is.
Okay.
That's a super jump. Okay, so what I did there was I clipped into the wall. You can clip into the wall any amount, anywhere between 1 and 3 pixels into the wall. And essentially what this is. Okay, so all right, let me go back a little bit. There are there's no such thing as layers in this game, like in Link to the Past. If you're familiar with Link to the Past as a speed game at all, you probably know what exploration glitch is. Exploration glitch is a glitch that allows you to like go under certain layers, like go under the floor in certain spots. You can beat the game in under 3 minutes, actually a little over 3 minutes, excuse me, that way. By just walking straight to the Triforce room because everything's connected in the submaps. So this game doesn't have layers. Instead, this game treats cliffs as temporary no-clip states. Like it puts Link in a no-clip state, which basically just means Link loses collision with everything for a second until he lands, basically. So like if you ever see something like this, like, imagine these stairs weren't here, it would be a cliff that I can jump off of.
Right.
Okay. I can actually do the same thing going back, but I won't because I don't want to waste an arrow going back. So essentially what I did was I treated that bottom wall as a cliff, which you can do as long as it's not like up against a corner or if it's a special type of wall or anything like that. So like all walls are treated as cliffs if you can touch them, and if you can face the opposite way to them. So what I did was I jumped while holding down and then used arrows to switch my direction in the air.
I see.
In order to like have the momentum to make the game think I was jumping off a cliff.
Okay. Of
and
course.
so
That
the result
seems logical.
the result of that particular super jump was the ability to skip a key and go over that key block and do the same thing coming back. That one's a little different though. So like we basically just clipped into that fence and treated the wall next to the stairs as the cliff.
Interesting.
And we do the same thing
coming
back over that block. So you'll see there we just jumped over those blocks because Link was in a no clip state until he landed.
So do you so you do use arrows every time. It's just
you don't have to. You can do it like so. For instance, I'm gonna do it right here actually.
Oh, okay.
So like you can actually do something called a naked super jump, which is using no items. So when you are facing away from a wall, you can hold up in the air after you jump for up to 9 frames, and then hold away from the wall, and you will do a super jump away from the wall. Yeah, so that's used later on. Here's
All
Moldorm,
right,
everybody's favorite Zelda boss.
and we're at the boss.
Oh boy. Alright, there we go. So that's
And
Moldorm.
it's done.
No real glitches there.
There it goes. Yeah, the timer is typically used in the show just because we still like to have an estimate. You know, we are trying to put
Yeah.
in all the content that we've talked about before. And it's basically like I will tell the runners beforehand. I'll be like, hey, take an estimate of what you would typically want to submit, and then add at least 30 minutes. Because so it's literally like the estimate that we have is runtime plus talk time.
I essentially
Um,
just kind of doubled the estimate because like I know that there's a lot of things to talk about in this game,
right,
as well
exactly.
as DX.
Yeah. So there's plenty of time for that, but yeah, it's just making sure everything's around in here, and you can kind of have a general estimate of like, I mean, it's just an estimate of how long we think that this will go between running and talking.
Yeah, exactly. And like the amount of glitches might like I'm getting a lot of explanations out of the way early, so that maybe a little bit later things can be understood a little better once I do them a little bit more
Right.
quickly.
And
But
it seems like it's not fluid for me because I act like a 5-year-old, so I just try to assume that I understand things like a 5-year-old. That um,
the
that
ELI
if it
5.
doesn't make sense to me, I'll ask about it again, or I'll try
Yeah.
to explain it back to you and see if it makes sense to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna save Bow Wow now. Everybody's favorite change on.
Yes.
So
Somebody
you can
thinks
skip
somebody
you can
thinks no
skip
restrictions is going
Moblin
to
King's text
be.
there.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
Oh, he's okay. Went the wrong way. You didn't see that.
What?
Nothing. Nothing.
Everything's good. Apparently, no restrictions
Did
is
it?
going to be
Oh, I'm
explained.
getting really bad luck here.
This happened because it did. Is that no restrictions?
Yeah, essentially. Essentially, this happened because nobody knows why. Essentially,
Right.
is what. Oh, y'all are in for a serious treat with no restrictions. It's gonna be like that category. That category might blow your mind. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here.
Oh, you
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
sorry.
I had a question.
Okay, I'm gonna do a clip here. I'm gonna do a
Okay.
clip called a flock clip because it was discovered by someone named Flockger. So these rocks will give you a text box anytime you touch them. That says like, "Wow, this sure is heavy. You can't lift this with your bare hands." At least that's what it says in English. This text box actually can push you if you're holding a direction. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna wall clip into these trees here, and I'm going to hold up and left as I approach this rock. And if I'm lucky with the subpixels, I'll just be able to squeeze past it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that saves us being able to go all the way around. And yeah, so like normally you're supposed to go back through the woods, go all the way through Gaponga Swamp, and just
Right.
kind of like, yeah. So by the way, shout outs to Bow Wow giving me perfect RNG on the flower for once in my life.
That was really nice. And yeah, again, like just
Hopefully you do that in a run.
skipped a decent section of the map. With that little skip, that's pretty cool.
Yep. You'll notice upon entering Dungeon 2 that I actually I used up all my powder. There's a reason for that. I'll get to that later.
Okay.
And we're going to avoid that powder there by just clipping into the bottom wall a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't want powder anymore. Powder's bad for you.
You don't want it at all?
No. It
It's
allows you to
fine.
get a certain item later on. Ironically,
okay.
the item that you were supposed to trade for the powder in the first place. Yeah, so because we used that later on.
Oh,
So
that was-
this isn't a glitch, but this fight is quick. That's D2 Hinox.
Are you just not supposed to have your bow yet?
So the bow is 980 rupees.
Right.
So the game definitely does not expect you to have it by this point, I think.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
That's what I assumed based on the price. Yeah.
Yeah, this trick is weird, by the way. So these ghosts, I'm not exactly sure what their kill condition is, like what you actually have to do in order for the game to consider them dead or gone. One of them is actually killing them. The other one is actually just kind of them being off the screen. So I just kind of hang out in the doorway here, jump over them, and shoot them with an arrow. So they're off screen and the chest just spawns.
Oh, and they just push away. Okay.
Yep.
Is there a specific number version that you're using of this game?
Yeah, I'm using Japanese 1.0 for both games.
Okay. There you go.
For both. Yeah, there actually were no revisions for Link's Awakening as far as I'm concerned. But Japanese just saves text. There are no Japanese exclusive glitches in either game.
Okay.
But
Good to know.
1.0 is important. So we're actually going to leave Dungeon 2. Screw this place. We're going to come back and finish it later for reasons which I will go into later.
That was skipped earlier, by the way.
Say that again?
I was saying, chat, that was some of the swamp that was skipped earlier.
Oh, yeah. So we're just going back the way we were supposed to come. So this thing right here is the mushroom, which is the thing that you're supposed to bring to the witch south of Dungeon 2 in order to trade for the powder. So we get that, and we save and quit.
Okay.
We got that for a reason, trust me. I'll go into the end of it.
I believe you.
We're gonna see very soon. So now the route involves going over here and activating this warp portal. So all you need to do to activate a warp portal in this game, in shout outs to the category being called warpless, by the way. So warpless refers to wrong warps. It does not refer to actual like warps. So that's a warp portal. You just need to go onto the screen, save and quit.
Nice, perfect.
So now that's
warps,
activated for later.
So warps is it the trick you do with the select screen, like with the map?
Yeah, so I'll show you. So say, for instance, I wanted to avoid the heart piece of shame because it's really, 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 really hard not to get. So I can just do this. Oh, I still got it.
Because you like went through it?
Apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, apparently. All right.
So my fun fact is that is something that I discovered when I was little, and then I would constantly soft lock because I would go in places that I shouldn't be able to, or go into walls and stuff. But I thought it was so cool that I figured it out as a kid. Yeah.
Yep, that happens. So we still got the heart piece of shame, etc. That's never happened before, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. We had it once already. That was like really, really early in the show too.
Just continuing the trend.
I assume that we have not beat the second temple or second dungeon because we want chain chomp still. Or maybe
not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
So we come back and finish it later just because it's slightly faster to do so with boots and a certain item, which I will again go over later on. So we're gonna do something called Villa Skip right now. This is why we got the mushroom. So you can do this without the mushroom, but it's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult in the original LA. It's pretty easy in LADX, but it is RNG dependent on global frame rule. However, with this, we can jump into the hole here and use the mushroom to hover over the pit. You can see that I'm just kind of like standing. I'm standing on the lowermost pixel that's possible to stand on. So if I buffer, save, and quit out of this and hold down, I will transition into the maze. So now I'm here. I'm not supposed to be here, obviously. I'm not supposed to be here. In order to be here, in order to access this maze in the first place, you're supposed to go to someone named Richard, who's in a villa, which is why this is called Villa Skip. So Richard is over one screen left and one screen down, and he wants you to go find golden leaves in Candlelight Castle. That takes a long time, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to come up here. I'm going to grab this thing, which looks like a golden leaf, but it's really not. It's actually the Dungeon 3 key, which you can see is on the far right there in my inventory. That's the slime key.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that's Villa Skip. Villa Skip was originally found by... Actually, hold on. I don't know why I didn't write that down. Villa Skip was found by... Emurlaws, who also found a bunch of things involving, including a glitch that you'll find later, which is actually like super broken. But
awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, shout outs to them. And so the way we escape from here is, so I'm gonna transition here on this screen, approximately midway between these two tiles here, going down. And since the first tile as well as like all the subsequent tiles after it are just filled with bushes. It just places me on the first available tile, so it just kind of shoves me out of the maze. And
It
as I
just
get
does
out,
that?
yep, it's that quote unquote easy.
Could you just do that casually?
If you wanted to, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Great.
Yeah, so here you can actually do kind of the same thing you did to D1 with the keyhole, and just
Okay.
again the game just kind of checks to see if you're facing up. But we obviously did not, open the open the dungeon from the correct side here.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. And so the sword helped you face in the correct direction for it to
Yep.
register.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
There's quite a bit going on in Dungeon 3 too, including we're gonna get our first attempt at ICS, or Instrument Cutscene Skip, which is the infamous skip in this game. I'm gonna kill extra enemies here as well to get a piece of power drop later on. So piece of power happens after every.
You just jumped over another thing. So you use the same.
Yep.
Okay, we're using the
Yep,
same
that's a super jump.
thing we learned earlier. So we're just gonna be jumping over walls constantly.
Pretty much.
Okay. So Chad, if you need a refresher on it, let us know.
Yeah, wherever we can. If there's a special application for one, or if there's a difference in one, which there are actually a couple of them in this dungeon, I will let you know.
Okay, great.
But yeah, so piece of power. This is not a glitch, but this is just a normal explanation of how piece of power works in this game. So there are two enemies. There are two items. That's one of them right there. See that acorn? That's a guardian acorn. That happens after every, I believe, 15. God, I forget. It's 15 in either the original or in LAS. I always forget which. But after a certain amount of kills, I'll just say that, without getting hit, you get that item, which halves the damage you take. After every 32 kills, for all intents and purposes, you get a piece of power drop, which is going to happen in this room, or at least it should. So there it is.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that's piece of power, and that's important because that increases your movement speed. So I'm about to do something now called Dodongo Skip. So in this next room, there are going to be some Dodongo snakes that you're supposed to lay bombs into, and like basically it takes a long time. But instead, we're going to do a really weird looking super jump and a clink off of one of them. Their movement is consistent, at least their first movement is consistent. The one on the right always goes down, so you can depend on this to happen. So yeah, it looks like this. So we're gonna immediately just do a super jump and get over here.
Oh, so use some of their, okay.
Yeah, so we clinked off of that rightward, that right-hand side Dodongo.
Right, like the very front of the hitbox.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, so immediately after super jumping, I let go of the spin slash, and that's what let me get over here. There are a couple different ways to do that, but I think that one's the easiest.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a super jump to get over here as well and get the boots.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a speed run, but we're giving extra time on the estimate because we're actually breaking down all the glitches in the show, and talking about them to show you how they're set up, how they work, etc., so you can help understand them. That's like the whole point of the show.
Yep, exactly. Sorry, I just had to do a bit of menu management there because I messed up. All
No,
right,
you're
so
good.
this is another different type of super jump, which is going to be, it's a lot more difficult in LA than it is in LADX, so I might mess it up. But this is called French Press, because it was found by two French runners by the name of, well, it was found by Alos, I believe, originally, or no, it was found by Alos and Vlak, and some setups were found by Sagas. So shout outs to those folks. So all right, so what I'm gonna do is, in order to have, you need a good speed to walk in this room. So, and because I have piece of power, I need to walk a little bit slower. So I'm gonna hold diagonally into this wall. We want Stalfos. So the idea is to super jump off the bottom wall in the corner. So the nightmare key is in this room, the boss key is in this next room. It's up on a ledge that you otherwise wouldn't be able to access without going around and doing a bunch of extra transitions. So this saves like 4 or 5 seconds, I think, in this version. But So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what's called a shield bump after the super jump. And to do that, I need the Stalfos to be in the right position. And I'm going to try to explain this as I'm doing it. So I'm going to walk diagonally, I'm going to jump, and I'm going to equip sword and shield, and then immediately swing upward to do a super jump. And then, so the next part, the part after this is the trickiest one because it requires you to have really good timing and swing your sword leftward in order to face left to shield bump the Stalfos, which is going to change your momentum and get you up onto the ledge.
And push you to the right on the ledge.
And push me to the right. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to try and do this. I missed it. Okay, so I'm going to try and do it full speed this time. Maybe
Okay.
maybe I can get it this time. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so now I'm up here.
Wow.
And there's an Amer key. So ordinarily, you're supposed to bomb arrow either here or there.
There.
Like there's a
right.
bombable wall right there you can go into. Oh, whoops. There's a bombable wall you can blow open
Yeah, you
right
can
there.
go through. Right, exactly.
Yeah, and like a lot of the time that saves, by the way, is if I were to transition an extra time, there would be, you know, the Zols and the mini gels and Zols that were in
Yes.
this room. Those don't respawn until you like transition a certain amount of times, and that saves those transitions.
Oh, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Cool.
yeah, exactly. We're gonna do Dodongo skip again. Go. And we're going to head down here, do a flock clip on this this key block, and just kind of skip that.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
So that is essentially Dungeon 3. Oh yeah, you have a so when you dash and jump in this game, you essentially have infinite what's called coyote frames, which is a sort of a grace period for like when you run off of a ledge. Like for instance, if you've ever seen a Celeste speedrun, Celeste has like 5 frames of coyote time. This game has infinite coyote time if you dash off of a ledge.
Okay.
So
And so
fun
that
fact
helps,
there.
like, hover you in the air for longer.
Yep. Yeah, it's just like
Okay.
it's neat for you don't even have to time the jump really.
Perfect. Nice. Okay, okay, okay. That makes more sense. Do you, I think I missed it earlier, but do you use a menu technique to have the piece of power last the entire dungeon?
No, that's not a menu technique. So if you're familiar with the remake of this game, the Switch game, piece of power lasts about 30 seconds
Right.
of in-game time. In this game, it lasts theoretically infinitely. The things that make it go away are if you get hit 3 times, or if you leave the dungeon, or if you transition submaps.
Oh.
Basically, in other words,
That's
leave
it?
the dungeon, or enter a dungeon if you were in one originally.
Oh, wow. I
Okay.
do not remember that.
So here we go. We're gonna attempt the first of what's called ICS, or instrument cutscene skip. It is it's a skip that's either frame perfect or a 2-frame window, depending on global frame rule, because you can collect the instrument every other frame. And so what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to land on the instrument. I'm gonna jump and land
Okay.
on the instrument and try to time a pause for when I land on the instrument. We'll see how many of these I get throughout the run. If I get like half of them, I'll be
Okay.
happy.
I assume these are just,
Um,
like, frame perfect landings.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
But they save 17 seconds if you get them. Each one.
Ooh,
Each
okay,
one
right.
saves 17
Because it
seconds.
usually plays
So
the
they are
bit of the
important.
music. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're
Mhm.
way too important to ignore if you're going for like a really, really good time.
Right.
Which is the thing I hate the most about this category. So, all right, we'll go for the
Let's
first
do it.
one. So, basically, this is the Sea Lily's Bell. We are going to. What I like to do is just kind of like jump twice into it and try to time it that way.
Okay.
So let me see if I can do it. All right, we got it.
Oh
So
my
that's
gosh,
the first
wow.
one. Yep,
I
that's the
almost
first one.
clapped.
So what that what that allows you to do is actually save and quit. You're not supposed to be able to save and quit out of the cutscene for the instrument. So yeah, that saves a ton of time each time you do it. It's one of the most important parts of the run if you're optimizing, and I hate it. It's a terrible, terrible trick.
Yeah, well, it looks like you were flawless. You could have said it's easy, no problem. It
Yeah,
would've
pretty
been
much,
fine.
pretty much. Yeah, it's really, really, really easy. Yeah. Shout outs to Flynn for finding ICS in this game, by the way. Land back in 2015 found that.
Oh, wow, back in 2015. Okay, so that's
Yep.
been for a while.
All right, so now we're off, and we're off to drown. Apparently, whoops, I didn't time that jump very well. It's funny, you know, you nail a frame perfect trick, and then you walk into water. It's fun.
Yep. That's me with games constantly. Somebody actually asked earlier. I meant to say, but they said, "Question: Can't you just super jump through the entire game? If you can just super
No.
jump over walls?"
You can't, simply because the dungeon layouts don't allow for that. If you could find a way to never land, you could probably do that.
Yeah.
But since
Then
you
you still come
land
down
only like a
hard,
second after you do a jump off of a wall, you regain collision instantly. There is a glitch I will do later in the 100% NR run, which will completely it'll allow you to do a bunch of stuff
Okay.
that's very similar. I did a tiny little optimization here. I skipped the sword animation on that bush by buffering a sword out of the menu. By buffering, I just mean like
Oh.
holding the sword button as I'm
Gotcha.
unpausing. Yeah, so coming up, I'm gonna do something called walrus skip. Walrus skip is done with a bomb trigger. I'm gonna try to take damage here because I'm trying to have Bow Wow not eat this. Okay, perfect. So we want to get down to half a heart because we need to self-destruct after doing walrus skip because it essentially locks me out of my inventory.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's because
Okay.
of Bow Wow. Bow Wow essentially, like, since we have Bow Wow, we never return Bow Wow, by the way. Bow Wow's with us the whole run. Since Villa
Perfect.
Skip allowed us to keep him. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bomb trigger here. There's a walrus on the next screen. Say hi to the walrus. There he is.
Hey.
So he's blocking you until you go find Marin and have Marin sing to the walrus.
Right.
Instead, we're going to do a bomb trigger here and have Bow Wow sing to the walrus.
So okay, so then there's something in this game that triggers. It's something about using bombs, almost like triggers cutscenes.
Yeah, it's really,
Okay.
honestly, like, we think it has something to do with overflowing, like, data in the
Yeah.
game, but, like, nobody really knows for sure why bomb triggers work the way they do. This is really important, by the way. I need to identify my subpixel on this, and this is actually a pretty easy one to identify. I just hold left. But the trick to that is to leave the screen on the same frame that the cutscene is supposed to start, where the, like, ordinarily, like, Marin sings to the walrus. Marin says some stuff, which you saw. Says like, "Wow, he sure woke with a start." I think is actually exactly what she says, in English at least. And then the rabbit comes on screen, and the rabbit like is what essentially causes the game to soft lock.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so you can soft lock the game very easily there if you don't leave the screen on the same frame as the cutscene ends.
I got you.
Yeah, and we also had to die, which is why I got my health down. We had to die there to reset.
And access the menu. again.
Yeah, be able to access the menu again,
Right.
exactly. That was lame, Mola. You can kill him before he spawns.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I
it's just
looked
two
away for a
arrows.
second and I missed it. It's already
It's
dead.
just 2 arrows to kill him.
Arrows
a
are
hard
really
fight.
OP.
Alright, so I did mention super jumps earlier. I've been going over super jumps a little bit. I'm gonna do something called a shack jump right now. I don't know why it's called a shack jump. Don't ask, but
I love that.
I guess it had something to do with Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, I was like,
But,
I assume you
yeah,
jump
we're-
really high.
But we're going to unlock Dungeon 4.
Everyone-
Thankfully, we remembered to do that. And then we're gonna come over here and do something called the shack jump, which was, I believe, like a shack jump or some form of shack jump was the first super jump that was ever like discovered by Seabass back in 2014.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to essentially just kind of hold. I'm gonna have Link stay facing up. There are actually a couple different ways to do this particular glitch, but we're gonna essentially go, well, what the LADX run would call out of bounds here, but it's not actually out of bounds in this rule set. LA has
Interesting.
a different rule set from
Okay, yeah.
LADX. But so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna super jump up onto the wall and walk on the wall to like get past the rock.
Okay.
Um, so the way we do that in the run is like this. So now I'm up here.
How, okay.
So
What?
go ahead. So if you are holding a diagonal and jump up against either a pushable object or a key block, I'll be doing more of these in actually. No, I won't. No, I won't be doing this in Dungeon 6 because right, that's an LADX. But yeah. So if you do this up against a pushable rock for whatever reason, it kind of just super jumps you.
Weird.
I'm
Okay,
not.
so you
I'm
just
not. I'm
jump to
not
the
exactly sure.
diagonal into the rock, and then you try to jump again?
So what you do is you have Link face up because that's the direction you need the super jump here.
Okay.
And if you like hold certain, okay, so what I'm doing is I'm holding certain directions to ensure that Link continues to face up, because
Sure.
you can see like I'm jumping right now, right, and
Yeah.
Link isn't actually changing direction at all.
Right.
That's normal. That's like what's supposed to happen.
Right.
Yeah, so it's the same thing like if you hold the diagonal. So like you can make Link moonwalk actually pretty easily in this game by just kind of there we go.
Oh, look.
Yeah, so like Link can moonwalk, right? So like
I always know he's a good dancer if you've seen Majora's Mask.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, anyway.
So yeah, we do that to get up. You can also just do it with a sword if you want.
That's so
Like,
wild.
yeah, you can do that too. But
Oh, interesting.
but the other way is faster though.
Right.
Um,
Would you say that the sword method is better for people who are potentially learning this?
I would say yeah.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
honestly though, like the sword method requires a bunch of different direction presses, whereas the shack jump really doesn't.
Interesting. Okay.
But shack jumps are a little bit less intuitive,
Mhm.
I think at least. I really don't even know why they work. They just kind of do.
It just does, yeah.
So this is
Sometimes
Dungeon
that's how it
4.
happens.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, like I feel bad not being able to like totally explain every single glitch I do, but like, honestly, I'm not sure.
That's okay.
I'm
Even
not
just
sure
like
many
the
people can.
setups or like this is what this is and this is what this is called and it works because it does. Like it's,
Exactly.
sometimes that's all you get. Like that's all you
Yeah.
know.
So a lot of the first half of Dungeon 4 isn't necessarily glitches. It's just kind of like exploits of dungeon design, like that, for instance. Like that's not really a glitch. That's just like a, you can just do that.
I was better at
but
that. I was really bad at that.
yeah, it doesn't require, but it's made a lot easier by doing a wall clip into the upper wall on the way in.
Oh nice. Okay, you're just waiting. So like what?
Yeah. So that was Cue Ball. That's the mini boss in Dungeon 4. And right now I'm gonna be doing something to get the boss key earlier than I'm supposed to. I'm gonna ignore that puzzle. You're normally supposed to do that puzzle to solve this one, but we're not gonna do that. Instead, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna clip into this wall, and we're gonna do a series of super jumps to get up here and clink off.
Oh,
the
you
key
can
hat.
go all the way up over things like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did 2 super jumps, one to get over the pots into the left wall, and one to clink off of the pea hat to get up here. There's another way to do that involves picking up the pots. Going down.
So you had to wait for the pea hat to come near you in order to do the.
Yeah, you have to wait at least a little bit for the pea hat to get high enough to like have him be in a proper position for it.
And
But but shout outs to Vlak for finding that setup, by the way, for finding that braceletless setup. Black also found this this quick kill on the anglerfish, which I'm about to do. This is anglerfish, by the way. He'll say some things and then he's dead.
You hit him down with an arrow as well.
Yeah, 2 bomb arrows actually. I didn't even mention bomb arrows. I didn't even mention bomb arrows. Bomb arrows.
You can actually do that.
Bomb arrows, you just essentially just press bombs and arrows at the same time and you shoot a bomb arrow.
Right.
Yeah. So here's ICS attempt number 2. And I missed that one. Okay. I think a frame early for that one, unfortunately.
That's okay.
So something interesting about this particular ICS. Fairly recently, actually within the last couple of years, there was a route change for this game. It's a faster route as well as a safer route because this ICS used to be required for the run if you didn't split up D4 into 2 parts, which is another viable solution. But anybody who's played Link's Awakening knows about the Ghost side quest after Dungeon 4.
Yeah.
The ghost that follows you around, you have to bring it to its house on the beach. Here's another shack jump, by the way. There we go.
This is why I push the rock into the hole when you can jump over it faster.
Yeah, that saves like 2 frames, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty swag trick. But yeah, so that ICS used to be required to skip that ghost side quest. However, because of something we're gonna do in Dungeon 8, we do not need to get that ICS anymore.
Okay.
So it's gonna sound really weird, but we're gonna get the level 2 bracelet, which you're supposed to get in Dungeon 6 in Face Shrine. We're gonna get that in Dungeon 8.
Okay.
You'll see. I'll go over it once I get there. But
are we going to Dungeon 8 now?
We're going to Dungeon 7 now. So we're gonna ignore the intended order of the dungeons now.
Okay,
and
right.
We're gonna head over to Dungeon 7, then do 8, and then do 6, 5, and then finish 8, and then finish 2. So we do half of Dungeon 8 as well in this run, in addition to half of Dungeon 2. I'm gonna save and quit here actually, because I want to showcase a couple different ways to get the bird key here, or the Dungeon 7 key. So this is the way we used to do it. So the way we used to do it involved going up here. So we don't have the rooster. We're supposed to have the rooster here.
To go all the way around. Because you flow with it for chat.
Yeah, so like before you get this key, you're supposed to have the ocarina first and foremost, which by the way we never get in this run.
Okay.
You need to have the Frog Song of Soul, which allows you to wake the rooster in Mabe Village, and then you need to come up here and fly around this gap with the rooster. So remember when I used the mushroom earlier to clip into, or not really clip into the wall, but we use it to transition down for Villa Skip, right? You can use the mushroom here as well to screw that up, apparently. Okay, well, let's try that again.
Okay, yeah,
I was on the wrong
really
tile when I used it. This method is a lot harder than the method we use now, which I will show afterwards, and you'll see how much quicker it is. But all right,
this
so
is the cool thing about the show, you guys, because you get to see, or all of you. Oh, that seems better. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. So so I'm gonna do something now called shovel charging. I don't even know what it's called, honestly, but basically, if you interrupt when you're if you charge a dash and interrupt when you're supposed to start your dash with a shovel usage, Link will just dash in place for as long as you want him to, and from here we can use the feather to make it over the gap.
Oh, because you get a little bit more distance?
Well, that's because otherwise the jump would be frame perfect, and if you fall there, you lose like 30 seconds or something.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's one way to do it. I'm gonna actually hard reset, show the other way so that my menu's not messed up. The other way is a lot easier.
Okay.
a lot simpler. So instead we come over here, and fun fact, this is actually not legal by the LADX rule set, but is legal in this rule set.
Oh, interesting.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to dash jump into the left wall here, like that, immediately menu to sword, and swing my sword left, but I was a little bit late on the sword swing, so I'm gonna try it again.
Okay.
I was late again. I'm actually just kind of pausing late. There we go. So that is an unclipped super jump, which you can do if you do like a boots charge and a jump into a wall and swing your sword the opposite way. That's another way to super jump.
Oh wow, okay. And getting the sword out allowed you to change your direction immediately.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's like the reason we use an item, either like a sword swing or an arrow usage. It's just to change our direction so that we are facing away from the wall, which is required to get the jump.
Yeah, TTH has world record in this category.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, in this one. So he should be using. I'm sure they're pretty updated strats. That's
Yeah,
these.
these strats were used in my record as soon as 3 days ago. So
Nice. There you go.
yeah, they're pretty up to date.
Yeah, what tends to define the difference between the rule sets for the games?
The community, honestly,
It-
they were founded, like the speedruns were basically founded by like sort of intertwined but mostly separate communities, and
Interesting. Okay.
they just decided that this rule set was better for this game and that the rule set for LADX was better for that game.
Okay.
So we're supposed to have the hook shot for this.
Okay.
Instead, we're gonna use the mushroom once again, our friend the mushroom. Another fun fact as well, the mushroom is actually not a mushroom at all, but is actually a little mini parasol, so that you can actually float a la Mary Poppins over holes.
But yes, yeah. Look, we've seen it
Like-
demonstrated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, by the way, sorry, I just kind of glossed over that. Bow Wow just ate a
Yeah.
cutscene.
Oh, Bow Wow
so-
did it.
Bow Wow ate a cutscene. So, all right. How to explain this? When a cutscene is triggered, it is manifested in some way on the screen as a sprite.
Bow Wow ate it.
Bow Wow. So for instance, like I threw this rock right here. Okay, I threw this rock, and that sprite was somehow still like it was stored like that, and it became. You know what? I don't even know. Basically,
Bow
it
Wow-
had to do with me throwing the rock.
Okay, well,
and
Bow Wow eats your menus and he eats your cutscenes and, all kinds
Bow
of
was
stuff.
hungry. Bow was
Yeah.
hungry.
It happens.
All right,
That's
so we're
wild.
gonna do. So Dungeon 7 is actually kind of wild. We do a little short super jump there to get up on these pegs. Little shortcut to get up here.
Oh,
Hit that
that's so
crystal
nice.
switch. And so everybody
Turbo.
knows about the pillars, these pillars in Dungeon 7, right? That you need this ball for, right? See that ball? We're not gonna use
Uh-huh.
that ball. Instead, we're gonna use bomb triggers and do this. And just knock
Because-
each pillar down this way. There are a
Because
couple
cutscenes.
different ways to do bomb triggers.
So with dropping it down the hole, what's the? Okay, all right, okay, we can do that. I guess I should know that by now.
We can do that. That's the motto of this. That's the motto of the game. We can do that.
So,
Anyway,
so
go
Are
ahead.
you dropping the bomb at the same time? Wait, kind of explain how you do that again, because that's still.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier that bomb triggers are done by having two bombs on the
Two.
screen within
Right.
4 in-game frames of each other. So there are a couple ways to do that. For whatever reason, transitioning and placing a bomb on the same exact frame results in the same thing.
Okay,
I guess because it counts as the bomb being planted on both screens.
so it's easiest to
same
do
time.
during a transition.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. But you can also just mash two bombs down a hole within 4 frames of each other.
Oh.
So like you can plant a bomb down a hole, down a pit, and then you have 3 frames to plant another one.
Oh,
So
okay,
you can just
okay.
yeah, yep, and that's another way to do it. We're gonna do a trick now called Goomba Surf. I believe the original Goomba Surf was let me see. The original Goomba Surf was found by Alos and Flynn in 2015, and the current setup we use was found by Zmaster. So
Okay,
what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get a 1 pixel clip into this wall. It has to be exactly 1 pixel. And then I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna transition to the left here, and I'm gonna pray that the Goomba, the northernmost Goomba in the room, and by the way, yes, Goombas are in this game. I'm gonna pray that the northernmost Goomba in the room moves right, and I can super jump and bounce off that Goomba to make it up to the upper level. And he can be super annoying to deal with. But there we go.
Oh,
Third try
there.
is not bad. But yeah, we're up here now.
Oh, so you kind of jumped onto him and then jumped up. Gotcha,
Yep.
good.
And since the game doesn't like give you collision until you land again, and landing on the Goomba does not count as landing on the ground, it just continues the super jump. and
I
allows you to
see.
get up
Oh,
here.
that makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
My goodness.
We can skip the boss text right there. That saves a couple seconds. We're gonna fight Evil Eagle with bombs.
Of
So
course.
there's a specific timing to use for this. I like to use the music as a cue. I'm gonna listen here for a bit. Planting a bomb up here just kind of saves saves a little bit of time because it takes less time for him to like get up all the way up off the top of the screen.
Wow, that was okay. It's just the
Yeah.
right timing. Does it usually go up, like down, up, down?
He can kind of do whatever.
Okay.
Except when you're on the ladder. When you're on the ladder or like below the surface of the top of the plateau, he'll charge at you. He'll charge straight at you every time.
Okay. Oh,
All right,
interesting.
ICS number 3. Nope, I didn't save it.
Aw.
I almost saved it, but not quite. I was a frame
Yeah, that
early
was really
again.
close.
Yeah. I'll get at least one more of those.
feel like
I got
parts
the
of this
first one.
game-
That's all that counts.
Yeah, you did. Hey, it was literally first try.
It was literally first try.
Yeah. I feel like parts of this game like to just morph into other parts of this game. Like a lot of these animations and things, like they just kind of appear in places where they shouldn't for a few frames.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's you'll see that a lot. Like when I open the save and quit menu, like
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of the time you'll see like a bunch of guardian acorns on the screen. It's like where did those come from?
Yeah.
Just like sprite errors.
It's like
So
just
there's
the
a
item you pick up like stays on the screen for too long. Anyway.
yeah exactly. So here I'm gonna drop down. There's a hole underneath that'll bring me out towards like the front of dungeon 4,
Mhm.
essentially. So you, like there's just like a drop down. If you save and quit on the transition, or if you open the save and quit menu, you can maintain control of Link and just kind of
Skip
avoid
it.
the hole. So we use that to get to dungeon 8.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep. So now we're on our way to dungeon 8. That just makes it so that we don't have to like reclimb Telltale Heights again.
Mm-hmm. Which has some of the best music in the game.
Yep,
in my
absolutely.
opinion.
All right, we're gonna do a couple of mushroom hovers here. We're gonna do this one.
Not too low.
Oh, okay. Whoops. So that happens when you that happens when you try to move before you jump. So you have to actually jump before you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
So here's
Oh,
Marin.
it's Marin.
Should I save Marin? Should I save her?
I would say yes, but I just think that she's cute. But you know what? If it's not fast enough, then don't.
Nah, we'll save Marin.
Okay.
We'll save her. It loses like a minute, but we'll save her.
Oh no!
That's fine.
Because of text.
Wait, actually, oh, okay, there's Terran. All right, scared me, Terran. But no, if I actually ran, I ran 100% NR, which is the category I'm going to be showcasing later on. I ran that in a marathon not too long ago, and I don't remember if I had an incentive. I don't think it was an incentive. I think I just did it for fun. But basically, I saved Marin, and I did it from the wrong like tile.
Oh,
So the game soft locked
oh no!
at the very end of the run.
Oh no!
All right, here's another mushroom hover. So we need to clip into see that part of the wall that's jutting out at the bottom left of the screen.
Yes.
We need to clip into that with the mushroom. So I'm going to jump as far down here as I can, equip the mushroom to clip into that. The tricky part
gosh.
here is hitting up and A at the same time. So up and jump at the same time, and I got it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so that's
Seems like you just barely
that
made
one
it.
has to be frame perfect.
Yeah.
You can use the shovel as well, but I'm honestly worse at doing that than I am at the frame perfect thing. So.
Chain chomp. You're going a little wild.
Oh yeah, Shane Chomp is Bow Wow has a lot of fun on Telltale Heights.
Yep.
Bow Wow's not supposed to be up here.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So we're about to open Dungeon 8. Again, ordinarily you need the Frog Song of Soul to do this, but we don't have that. So whatever will we do?
Use Bow Wow?
Anyone take a guess?
with a bomb. Bow Wow and a bomb.
Trigger. There we go.
Did Bow Wow sing? the
So
song?
not quite. This fight's actually really tough, by the way.
Oh,
All right,
right.
it's over.
That's right.
That fight's really tough. So yeah, you can just run through them.
What a memer.
Yeah, they don't have a hitbox until like a second after the fight starts. So you can just run through his head.
Oh, so before he's like totally spawned, you can just run through it.
Yeah, so
That's
that super jump I just did, by the way, like completely breaks this dungeon in half,
Mhm.
as well as the ability to blow open that wall. And just kind of like, yeah, Dungeon 8, like, stuff happens really quickly in this game.
You can
That's a
push
little
that down from the
chest menu.
side. How do you do what?
Oh, I didn't even explain that. Okay, so there are two ways to do that. One is actually pixel perfect. I don't go for the pixel perfect setup because
Okay.
I'm not great at it. But if you stand right here, that's not even it. Right here. Yeah, there we go. You can push it to the side. It takes a bit to do. I don't know why this works, but it does. Instead, if you clip into the side of it, you have like a 4 or 5 pixel window to do it.
Oh,
That's a lot
wow.
easier. Yeah, that's just called sideways block push. Sorry, I neglected that. I knew
No,
there'd
that's
be
okay.
something that I just like glossed over by accident.
Again, this is oh my gosh. This is why I'm here to ask these questions. Okay, well you just super jumped off him.
Yep, that's a super jump off of the left wall. Can unlock that, and this is actually a really tough screen, but I actually managed to get the movement
was
correct
nice.
off the ladder to make that cycle.
Yeah, the timing. Yeah.
Okay, so the Blano fight. The Blano fight's actually really tough. Just kidding, we skip them.
Oh.
So fun fact, that skip is illegal in LADX because the tile I landed on right there, that's to the left of me, is
Mhm.
considered out of bounds because it's not normally accessible through any means other than glitches.
Okay.
And a super jump up on the pegs here to bypass having to hit that at the beginning of the dungeon. And we get what is by far the most broken item in this video game, the Magic Rod. So, the Magic Rod has a very special property to it. It can create lag. It can create so much lag, in fact, that it despawns almost anything in a room. Like, for instance, mini bosses. Cue Ball is gone. So Cue Ball is supposed to be in this room. Remember Cue Ball from Dungeon 4? Cue Ball is supposed to be in this room. We'll see him again. We'll see him again briefly, don't worry. But, okay, so basically what happens in that glitch is that you create so much lag by using the fire rod, or I'm going to keep calling it the fire rod, by using the magic rod and then pausing exactly the frame after. I think it has something to do with sound.
Okay.
But it creates so much lag that you can deload anything in the next room. Deload / despawn, whatever you want to call it.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, so remember what I said earlier about getting the L2 bracelet in Dungeon 8? We're about to do that.
Okay. Something
we're
about
about to...
you glossed over the level 2 shield requirement?
We don't need it. We don't need Mirror Shield. We don't need level 2 shield at all. Oh, I did gloss over Flame Cave Skip, though. Flame Cave Skip's actually really easy. I can even do it again if you want, honestly. I just kind of glossed over that super quickly, and I'm sorry. But anyway, I'll do that after I leave. Probably after I leave Dungeon 8 at some point. I'll do it at some point later on.
It's not as like that's not as big of a deal.
Yeah, it's just a wall clip. It's a wall clip that allows you to bypass it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so as soon as I enter this room, you're not supposed to enter this room from the top. So the game will try to shove Link back upwards. And actually, it wraps around so that Link is below the screen and it transitions down again.
Okay.
In order to prevent me from wrapping around too much, I'm going to press start. I'm going to buffer a menu, and it's going to place me in the perfect spot. Okay. So watch this closely. So now I'm actually in an unused room right now. That looks very similar to a room in Dungeon 7, but was actually just never used. Yeah, it's a beta room, essentially, I guess.
That looks like it's like so close to what Warpless would be.
Yeah, it is really honestly towing the line. of a wrong warp, but
Yes.
it's apparently not. It's apparently not a wrong warp.
Okay. And so
It's
they have
just
an
a zip.
extra power bracelet.
Yeah, well, this is since we already had the power bracelet to begin with, this is now the L2 bracelet. So this allows us to skip getting the level 2 bracelet in Dungeon 6, and it
Mhm.
has the added, in fact, much more important effect of allowing us to skip the ghost side quest that I mentioned after Dungeon 4, because for whatever reason, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, the level 2 bracelet serves as a flag to make that side quest to never happen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why this route is super good for, especially if you miss D4 ICS, because before you needed to get that ICS to skip the ghost side quest.
Oh, I see. I see. I see. Okay.
Yep. So now we transition back inbounds to level 8
Yeah, you just fell back
to
down.
Dungeon 8, and
Mhm.
we leave. We leave and we access this warp over here just because it actually saves travel time to get this warp,
Perfect.
and we're out.
Okay.
All right, so
Where
we're
we're
about
next.
to enter. We're about to enter the laggiest part of the game
Perfect.
that does not involve the magic rod.
Okay.
So you can tell, you're really going to be able to tell when we enter this that Bow Wow was not meant to be in the Armos maze, because the Armos maze gets extremely laggy
Oh no. Okay.
with
Mhm.
Bow Wow, like laggy to the point of like you can hardly stand it. Honestly,
Can't wait.
neither can I. That was close. All right, so we're gonna use the shield to bump these Armos out of the way, and I'm just gonna not dash on these screens because dashing does create lag. Well, I'll dash now, but you can see how slow Link is moving now, and the music is super slowed down
Oh
as
my
well.
gosh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like you're underwater.
Oh, that was nice. Bow Wow to just eat it out of the way.
Yeah, you can ordinarily just clip past that, but Bow Wow ate it,
Mhm.
so thanks, Bow Wow.
So you didn't need any arrows for that.
Nope, we used the fire rod for this.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you just kind of spam the fire out of him. So this is how we get the face key. With a little face on it. Big with face and everything.
Hmm.
I do one fire rod deload here. Whoops. Also menu to shield. Just to avoid lag on the screen.
Oh, because it gets right. That's right. It despawns the enemies. That's right.
Yep. Exactly. I do a little bit of manipulation there to have Bow Wow eat that statue, which again avoids lag, or
Mhm.
it greatly reduces lag for sure.
Really right.
Um,
Not 100% gone.
let's see what else is there. I'm just trying to like not skip over glitches. Like
Mhm.
this part of the game is not particularly glitch heavy until we enter Dungeon 6.
Okay.
But I'm just making sure that I don't like forget anything. I like to circle around the island this way so that Bow Wow eats that. He'll eat it every single time if you go left, or pretty much every
Oh,
single
that's
time.
nice. It's easier for you to deal with.
Oops.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can jump over this pit. So you might notice,
Oh.
by the way, we don't have the hook shot. We don't get the hook shot ever in this run.
Right,
We skip
yeah, I did
getting,
notice
we skip
that.
getting the hook shot.
Why
Um,
get a hook shot when you have a tiny parasol?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna do
I'm
here,
with you.
what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna create lag with the magic rod and unlock Dungeon 6 to skip the cutscene. So the lag basically makes the cutscene just not happen. It just doesn't even really spawn, I
I
guess.
think the game can't load it or something.
Essentially, yeah, essentially.
Okay.
And the rest of the game is essentially just deloading everything I can with the magic rod that saves
There goes the
time.
mini boss. Okay.
Basically.
Why fight enemies when you don't have to?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I get it.
Exactly.
I get it.
So a little super jump here to, whoops, to not do that. A little super jump here to clip into this wall a little bit. And since we're clipped into this wall, we can super jump up here.
Oh wow, that was fast. Okay.
And so this chest is the only chest in the game that you have to throw a pot at to open it. Fun fact.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
but
a
couple-
hint. There's a
Oh,
hint
there's a
in
hint
game
for it.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a hint, like in the form of a stone beak that you need to.
Right. Right.
Yeah, the stone beaks, these little statues. Speaking of statues, by the way, so the the statues look like that. See that little statue that's on the same level as me right there? Yeah. Well, guess what? We can also deload that in order to
Did you just
get
jump
over
down?
here. Yep. Flat clip past this. We don't need the key. Deload this room. And please. There we go. Deload this room. So for those who didn't know, you can actually just light those torches there to get berries.
Okay.
And I guess I'll refill health because from this point on we don't get any health refills at all. Which makes things kind of difficult. ICS maybe?
Okay. Did you just
Nope, I
despawn
was
the
late on
boss?
that one. I did. I despawned
Okay.
Facade.
All right, I just wanted to make
despawned-
sure I got it right.
I despawned Face from Nick Jr.
Yeah.
Fortunately. Hi there, Face not here.
Oh yeah, the face on the floor, right?
Yeah.
I'm there. I got it. I caught up.
Yeah, so you can despawn even bosses with the magic rod.
That's fantastic.
Guess who else you can despawn?
Gant. No, it's not Gant.
The owl.
Oh,
You
the
can
owl
despawn the
goes
owl.
away.
Yep, you can despawn the owl. The owl was supposed to talk to me there, but
What about
whoa.
final boss?
Okay, that was rude. That was rude of that bomb fairy. I'm gonna go this way. All right, so we are making our way to Dungeon 5 now. So Dungeon 5 is a lot more of the same. A lot more deloading, a lot more sequence breaking. We just completely ignore the hook shot, which is great.
Yeah, again,
We
you
never
don't
see
need it.
Master Stalfos.
You're gonna despawn this boss, I assume.
Oh yeah, we despawn every boss from here on out, except for the final boss. Oh wait.
Yeah, I was
oops,
gonna ask about like
do this again.
what's possible there.
So yeah, except for the final boss, we despawn every boss and every mini boss and basically everything that saves time to pull out the magic rod and use. Oh, lots of sprites in this room. You can see the lag in that room. Just because like a bunch of sprites dropped, which is kind of unlucky. So we get that key, we save and quit, we come back, and now begins the deloading.
Okay.
Wow, that was rude. That Helmsword almost never comes down like that. Alright, so here we go. So the first Master Stalfos fight is supposed to be in this room.
There goes one.
Yep, there's one.
Okay. Gonna keep going.
So coming up is a pretty tricky jump to get the boss key.
okay.
This dungeon. So you're only supposed to be able to you can jump 3 tiles pretty much exactly with boots. Boots and feather. However, here we actually make a 4-tile gap, or we should make a 4-tile gap. There we go.
Oh wow.
So yeah, like the pits in this game are individual tiles, and you can kind of walk on the edge of the pits like that, and
right,
still
and you
like
start
not
to fall.
yeah.
Mhm,
You can evade falling by just kind of like it's also frame rule dependent, but you can evade falling by like holding away from the pit if you're lucky.
Oh, holding away. Yeah.
Oops.
Makes sense.
So we're gonna do this one more time. There we go. So Master Stalfos would have respawned there if I hadn't deloaded again.
Mhm.
So now we're gonna. I can't believe he hit me. That was dumb.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go.
So funny.
So you can make this this jump as well, like that,
Oh wow.
and
And here we are.
deload Slimeal and ICS.
Who needs bosses?
There's one. There's ICS.
Hey!
And we're out.
Awesome.
So that's Dungeon 5. All right,
Okay,
so
wait.
now we're gonna make our way back to the warp. Also,
Okay.
mashing feather here makes you swim faster. Like
I didn't know
along
that.
the
Okay.
yeah.
So which dungeon are we going to do or finish? We only have
We are making our way to Dungeon 8.
okay.
To finish off Dungeon 8.
And then we have
like,
4.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna spend too much time in Dungeon 8 because it's like basically already done. We just need to go kill the boss. Or
Right.
excuse me, we need to go get the instrument. Deload the boss. Um,
Yes.
and then after that, it's the second half of Dungeon 2, and then we are gonna be on our way to the final boss.
Wow.
Yeah,
And we're
in the
still.
interest of time,
Mhm.
I'll try to finish the rest of this run quickly.
I mean, it's okay. It's again, it's speedrun plus exhibition explanation. So.
Yeah, this super jump is actually really cool. So you can super jump onto the candle here,
Oh wow.
and then from here you can jump, and that jump is pretty specific to actually make it over the staircase.
You don't touch.
Um,
Oh yeah, I see. Well, even if you go down the staircase, you could just come back up, right? But you just.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Not a big
it
deal.
just loses like 2 seconds.
Mhm. And it's
But
gone.
yeah. Hey, there's another ICS.
Nice.
All right, that's Dungeon 8. It feels really good to get ICS. It
Mhm.
feels really bad to miss it if you're like on pace, you just miss
ICS.
it and you're just forced to sit there and wait and look at the cutscene.
Uh-huh.
It's like
ICS
It's-
means instrument cutscene skip.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I got you in chat.
All right, so Dungeon 2 is our last dungeon. So we can. So there's a room coming up that requires me to kill 3 enemies in a specific order.
Mhm.
I need to kill the Pole's Voice first. That's like kind of encaged, if you will, in a circle of blocks.
Okay.
I need to kill that one first, and then the Keese on the right, and then the Hooded Stalfos on the left.
Okay.
So in order to kill the Pole's Voice first, you can speed that up a little bit by pushing the blocks, and then you can fire a bomb arrow through the blocks to hit the Pole's Voice as it's moving. Let me see if I can pull that off.
Whoa.
Okay, well, it missed because I got bad RNG, but that's fine.
That's still pretty cool.
That's fine. Yeah. I still got to fire it through, but yeah, that's... Reload this room.
Aren't there? Do you have time for a question?
Sure. Yeah,
Aren't there
absolutely.
a few Okay, yeah. Aren't there a few instances of games where various localizations have introduced glitches that are useful in speedruns? In speedruns in general, yes. Anything in these games?
So as far as localizations go, I don't believe so. I think like glitches, optimizations, etc. are pretty much the same across the board as far as languages go. However, the revisions made to LADX did patch out a lot of glitches. Like for instance, super jumps were like, well, they weren't totally patched, but they were basically patched to the point where you can't do as much with them. The something called the doghouse glitch was patched, which we will get into in the next run, by the way.
Perfect.
Doghouse is very, very, very heavily used in the next run,
Okay.
but it's banned in this category.
It's so weird how
All right.
how there's like so many things that don't work in one or like that aren't okay in one that are okay in the other.
Yeah, it's actually really like refreshing in a way as a
Yeah, that
runner
makes
of
sense.
like of a game like LADX. Like my main game is LADX more than it is LA.
Mhm.
So by the way, we're deloading the owl here
Gotcha.
for one
And
last
so,
time.
do you just like the rule set better in the other one then?
Funny enough, I like this rule set better, but I think I
Oh.
like LADX better as a speedrun.
I see.
By the way, we
Okay.
bomb trigger the egg. We bomb trigger the egg to open it up. So
Oh, but the cutscene's still this cutscene's still playing.
yeah.
Did it not work?
Yeah, so you ordinarily need the ocarina and to play the Battle of the Windfish to make this cutscene happen, but bomb triggers work just the same.
Oh, to trigger to have the ocarina. Got it.
Yep. So, all right, there's a lot that's going to go on the final boss, and it actually requires a little bit of there's actually a little bit of RNG manipulation that goes on.
Okay. You need
And
focus
although
time?
RNG manipulation is not a glitch, I'm going to explain it anyway.
Okay.
So, well, actually, it's made possible by a glitch, although it's not a glitch in itself. But basically, what I'm going to do is, upon entering the final boss, upon entering the final boss, I'm going to mash bombs to get a bomb trigger, and that's going to skip the opening text. But more importantly, it's going to make the music not play for the majority of the fight.
Okay.
And the music in this game rolls RNG. So the fact that the music's not going to be there makes it possible to manipulate both the Blob quick kill and Aghanim's attacks.
Oh, that's
So
so
you know
interesting.
how Aghanim, like I feel like most uh well, at least if you know about Link to the Past, you know about
Yeah, if you
Aghanim.
play this
Aghanim
game,
can
right?
give you, yeah, he can give you a normal ball or a blue ball, and
Yes.
the manipulation makes it so that blue balls will never happen.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yeah, so it's determined by that RNG that I mentioned, as well as your X pixel standing on the ground.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna jump into the fight. I'm gonna mash bombs to get the bomb trigger. Equip sword and hold sword, so I don't actually sway the RNG by swinging my sword. And that makes this blob quick kill consistent as long as I poke the wall after the first hit. So I stood on a certain spot there in order to hit him with the tip of my sword. And which you can do. You're ordinarily supposed to have powder for that fight, but we don't actually have any powder.
Yeah, so
So, so right now I actually have an app open made by Real Critical
okay.
to essentially just kind of tell me where to stand upon every position that he goes to. And shout outs to Vlak, by the way,
Oh,
for
that's really
finding
cool.
this manipulation. And this is actually pretty easy. I had to just stand up against the wall for everyone. So we get new
That's
blue
super
balls.
cool.
No blue balls, excuse me. Moldorm quick kill, stand here, mash. There we go, that's Moldorm.
That's it. Just that one section. Oh my gosh.
Yep, so here's Ganon, for the Ganon phase. This fight has 6 phases. This is, this is phase number 4 of 6. I sometimes forget about number 5, that's Landmola. He's only a little bit harder than he was in the sand earlier to get the D4 key.
Right, because of the remember that time that he like
Yeah.
wasn't there, basically.
And this is the final phase. This is Death Eye.
Right.
Death Eye takes 16 arrows to kill. And at the end, I'm going to try and skip his text. It's a little bit hard to skip Death Eye's text. That's 3. You can get 4 hits per cycle.
Mhm. I was trying to
Yeah,
count.
this is the end of the run right here. Please
Is he
open.
ready on time?
It's completely RNG when he opens, and you can't manipulate this, unfortunately. That's 11. It's 13, sure. So I'm gonna try and time it on the 3rd hit. I'm gonna open the pause menu and save and quit out of the pause menu to skip the text. That worked. Perfect.
Oh, nice. Wow, that was fast.
Nice. Yeah, so... And it should get that text skip as well. Oh, never mind, I missed it. I was a little early for it.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's the run. That is LA Warpless.
And do we hit time? I'm guessing.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that, but the run that we have coming up is it's a lot more broken than this one. Now this run is pretty broken. However, the run coming up just blows that out of the water. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, okay. I'm super excited for that. First of all, this was really cool. I'm excited to completely unlearn probably almost everything that I just learned, but not unlearn it. I mean, have to learn an entirely new thing. But I'm really excited about that. I think it's really cool to look at games like 2 games that are essentially like you would look at it at face value and be like, well, this is basically the same. They just kind of made it look nicer, right? Like, they have like real colors in it.
It's really not, yeah.
Like actually set colors. And you don't think about really any other specific differences. Maybe like 1 or 2 other minor things, but just knowing that these runs are going to be like so wildly different in terms of how they play and what we're going to be learning coming up. So I'm really, really excited about that. I also wanted to mention before we go on a break, because yes, we need to take a wellness break. So we'll be back shortly. But before we go, first of all, make sure you check out the other run, because it's going to be really, really cool. Second of all, just if you're watching on YouTube and you'd like to support the live content, please consider checking out our Twitch channel. We're here at twitch.tv/GDQ, like right now. Maybe not when you're watching it on YouTube, but right now. Or you could go when you're watching the video and there might be a show on. Like, for example, if you tune in on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, there's the Community Spotlight. So there will be a special showcase with the Path of Exile speedrunning. So that's going to be really cool. And then, all of your subs, bits, things like that go into helping to fund hotfix. So thank you so much for your subscriptions. And, for those who aren't subscribed, you can consider doing that to support future broadcasts. If you're enjoying the show or other shows and you really like Lamp, you know, you can always sub for
You gotta
that.
love Lamp.
Yeah, dude, GDQ Lamp. I'm telling you. All right. So thank you all so much for being here. We'll be back after just a short wellness break and getting the next Link's Awakening set up so we can see that happen. And we'll be back in just a few. Hey everyone, welcome back to That's Never Happened Before. I am once again Kungfufruitcup, or just Foo. That's the easy short name. My nickname. We were talking about cats because cats are cute. And I'm here joined again by our awesome runner of the show, TGH. What's up? How's it going?
Yo, what's going on?
Hi.
It's going well.
He said he was having fun earlier, so that's good because I've been having a blast. So I'm always glad to hear when somebody's enjoying their time.
Yeah, so am I. This is a really fun game. Like these are two really fun games to like showcase as glitch heavy games, honestly. So
For
yeah,
sure.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, look, I agree with that. Now we get to see it in color. Very excited about that. So, so for those who were here earlier, you got to see the original Link's Awakening being shown off for with lots of explanation. And now we're going to see Link's Awakening DX. However, as I have been told, this is a wildly different experience. So we're going to see a lot of different things happening than we did earlier on in the show and hear a lot of different explanations. So get ready for that. I'm really excited, and honestly, I'm ready to get into it when you are. I just want to know what's different. Like, teach me.
All right. So the game is like I will say straight off the bat, LADX is definitely less glitch heavy as a game than LA. However, like this particular type of category has not yet been routed out or experimented with as much in LA as it has in LADX. And I have to give a huge shout out as well to someone named Velatoje, who essentially was he's essentially the father of this category, like the founder, the router, and just like in general, like definitely the category would not exist without him. So yeah, huge shout outs to him. But let me just put something in perspective for you, okay? So the any percent warpless time for LA, without explanations, about 45 minutes or so.
Okay.
This category gets everything in the game, gets obviously every instrument, every heart container, every key, every picture in 35 minutes. So yeah, and I'll show you pretty soon how that happens. So this run, and I guess I'll go ahead and start.
This is kind of the magic of Zelda games too. I feel like that happens a lot in Zelda.
Yeah, pretty much. It's definitely a common theme. A lot of different Zelda games. So I guess I'll count down from 5.
Yeah, sounds good. Whenever you're ready.
All right, cool. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this game was released in 1998 as essentially a remake. It added an extra dungeon, which we won't see in this game. Instead, we'll get a tunic some other way, which you'll see.
Oh, right, the extra tunic. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and obviously with color as well, and bug fixes, a different style of menu. It's a really nice revamp, but yeah, we're gonna kind of destroy it right now. And we're going to destroy it right away, essentially. So this run is centered around a trick called the doghouse glitch. So you might have seen me pass a house, Madame Meow Meow's house, where Bow Wow is. You might have seen me pass that house. That screen is where the magic's going to happen, because so one thing about transitions in this game, specifically submap transitions, the game expects you to be on a certain coordinate when you do transition between overworld and underworld. So when you are not on that particular coordinate, some strange things can happen, and essentially you get wrong warped. Where you get wrong warped to is dependent on how many enemies you kill. It's dependent on kill count. So like I need to kill a total of 4 enemies between now, or excuse me, I've already killed 3. But between when I get the sword and when I actually enter the back of the doghouse, which you can do
Okay.
by just clipping into the side.
So that was
Uh,
4.
yeah. So be very just be aware. You're about to see some stuff right now.
I'm watching. I'm ready. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
Wait.
this is the playground around which this category is centered. This is the doghouse. And by the way, Granny's chasing after me.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
I'm
she's
actually
attacking you. Oh.
okay. I thought I soft locked for a second. I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, it's very easy to get stuck in here, essentially. But this place has everything you could ever want and need, including items
Wait.
and the best soundtrack ever to exist.
Oh, it's a shame I can't hear it as well.
Oh,
It's not the
you're gonna wish you could.
same. Oh. I'll have to go back after.
Yeah, so we already have the boots, and we just grabbed the bow, which, by the way, you're not supposed to ever be able to grab from out of a chest.
Okay. So my thinking is this like like testing, or do we know exactly what this?
Do you mean if
means?
it's like a beta area?
Yeah.
Essentially, what you're looking at is how the game tries to organize data, like as far as like room type goes. Like, I honestly like, I
It's
know,
doing a really good job.
yeah, I know like extremely little about why that actually works the way it does. But anyway, we just got all these items in what, like 3 minutes or something. But basically, basically, so there are two ways that the game can present data: the way the game organizes it and the way you see it as the player, or the way the game is meant to present the data. What you're seeing there, and I'm gonna keep this sort of brief, but what you're seeing there is how the game organizes data as far as like rooms go and like room positions go. So
Okay.
like while I was doing that, while I was doing all that, I was going across like certain rooms in all different types of like areas in the game. Like I was in a room in D2 to start with. And then I went to a room in D4 and like several rooms in D5. Because every room is organized in like a certain submap. And basically they're all connected, essentially.
Okay.
So
So
we're
if
gonna
you
do a
went back
super
into
jump,
those,
get up here.
if you go back into those dungeons now, those rooms will be like, oh, you already got this item.
I
Or
don't
no?
know, because when you go through that doghouse section, when you go through that, you like the items that you get in chests are seemingly random. Like I
Yeah,
don't
they
know
like
why
don't
they're
match
in
up.
those chests. Like
Mhm.
I opened one chest that was supposed to be the flippers, and it was the bow.
Okay.
I opened one
Right.
chest that's supposed to be a Zol that like trolls you, troll Zol, if you will, that pops out of a like a chest that ends up being the feather, I think.
Oh,
So
okay.
like honestly, I
Oh,
don't
interesting.
know what the rhyme or reason is to any of that, but so yeah, there's that. The category is essentially like centered around that, and we're about to go out of bounds here as well, and we're about to. Whoops, I lost my clip. There we go. Super jump there. Transition down. So now we're in like some random cave. Now we're in Moblin Cave.
Okay, but we're doing the same kinds of super jumps, and now we're somewhere else.
Oh, I died. Whoops, I didn't realize I had one heart. Okay, let's try that again. Did not
Okay,
realize my
so
health was that low.
we just entered into.
So this is the Ocarina Shrine, where you get the
Oh.
Ocarina. So like I just grabbed the Ocarina, and now I'm going to, I'm gonna not be in the shrine anymore. If I could stop losing my clip. There we go. We're gonna not be in the Ocarina Shrine anymore. So this room right here is like a, this is the cave that brings you from like the ghost grave to the graveyard, like the underground passage.
Oh, okay,
Passage
okay.
with the piece of
Mhm.
heart.
Mhm.
We're not getting the piece of heart though for reasons. This is Moblin Cave,
Okay.
where you rescue Bow Wow,
Right, but this.
and this is Dungeon 7. So we're
Oh,
in
this
Dungeon
is
7 now.
7.
Yeah. We're not really gonna do much in Dungeon 7, except for picking up this this pot to grab a bomb here, just to give myself a bomb in my inventory, so I can upgrade it later and get more bombs.
Cool, okay.
However, this is a thing as well. So this is Mambo. We're learning Mambo's Mambo right now.
Okay, so this isn't. You're not
I
doing
mean,
this
like,
through the.
this is just like what I remember from my childhood. Like, I don't know what you're
Oh, you're right.
surprised
I'm
about.
sorry. I just have a bad memory.
Yeah,
Okay,
like,
but assuming that this isn't normal, if you like, for example, you were not entering this through the back of the doghouse. So what happened instead?
um, so the game expects you to enter uh certain places from certain locations, right? When you do not enter through those locations, like, so for instance, if I were to enter the Ocarina Shrine, uh, normally it would look just like
Hmm.
this, like it does now. But if I were to
Hmm.
enter the Ocarina Shrine from out of bounds somewhere else, like not all the correct assets would be loaded,
Right.
and it would all just be kind of like visual gibberish, essentially.
So it doesn't always know where to put you. I mean,
It
because you were
it
in Dungeon 7, but you were learning the Mamba, right? And learning the
okay, so
song. Because
I
that doesn't seem
apologize
right.
that like my explanations aren't the clearest, but
No, it's fine.
um yeah, basically like again what we were seeing was obviously like that room in Dungeon 7 is not meant to connect directly to the Mamba's Mamba room or the learn excuse me, the room where you learn that. Uh but because I entered it from or basically I think that goes back to what I was saying before where like um I know very little about like how this actually works. I just know how to do it. But essentially what it is you're not doing what the game expects. So transitions are going to be weird. Transitions are going to
Hmm.
like not bring you to the correct places a lot of the time. Rooms are
Okay.
organized in the game in such a way where like, you know, if you literally went from one room to another like in the data, like if you transition
That's
to the
what this
east for
is.
instance, it wouldn't bring you to the right place.
Right. Okay. Somebody in chat is saying that this is numerical order in a way. Some of the
Sort
ways you're
of.
moving through rooms.
Sort of. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay. Here we are. We're back.
everything in the game is connected via a certain submap,
Okay.
which is like where the game stores the data.
Okay.
This is
So
so
normal.
confusing to me to just like to try to explain, and I apologize if I'm not
That's
doing a
okay.
great job. But basically, I knew that this category would be kind of like a, hey, this is really cool looking.
Hmm.
I am not sure how most of this works, but you know what?
That's
I'm gonna
okay.
showcase it. And
Again, this is
honestly,
part of the
not many people
contrast,
know how it works anyway. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So we see all these like little skips and things that you're doing in the original version, and you're like, "Let me break it down," and then you're like, "Here's this game,"
Exactly.
and that's
So
it.
what I'm in right now, I just got the hook shot as well. I am in what's called Doghouse 5, which means I killed 5 enemies before clipping into the back.
Okay.
So this is like a room in Dungeon 1. This is also a room in Dungeon 1 where I'm gonna get the magic rod.
Oh, perfect.
Unfortunately, the magic rod does not do the same thing in this game as
Oh, you don't have the despawn
in
anymore,
other games. Yeah.
so it's not OP anymore.
Oh,
That's
whoops.
a bummer.
Yeah, and there are like invisible barriers like everywhere. Like it's not really it's not a thing to see things and like react to like
It's
what's
almost
there
like
and
you're
avoid
not
it.
supposed to be here.
It's just yeah. Say hello to my friend by the way, 565787. Um he's gonna give me a powder upgrade, and I also need to give a very severe flashing lights warning for this particular sequence of events that's happening here. So like
Okay.
from here until about a minute and a half from now, there will
Oh
be
wow.
flashing lights happening as soon as I finish this dialogue here. So just
Okay.
be very aware of that.
Okay.
So right here, it's gonna start.
Oh whoa. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's the game giving me powder upgrades. You can see I have 40 bags of powder now.
So that's gonna
And
happen
we're gonna do
a
the
few
same
times?
thing here. We just go one screen to the right and get the next one.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so another flashing lights warning here. This one isn't as bad since it's not like, you know, like a stark contrast from like the super dark screen.
Right.
Here we're gonna get 4 seashells out of this chest. So there's 1.
Okay.
There's 2.
Like,
And
two
for
chests
whatever reason,
overlapping.
yeah, you can just get as many as you want out of here. There's a reason we get 4 though. We get the other 6 that we need.
Okay.
For actually, how many do I have? I have 4. Okay, I don't want to miscount, so I just checked my menu. So we get the other 6 that we need to hit 10, and 10 is like a magic number for a reason here.
Okay.
before we do something else. So the other 6 in the overworld.
No, don't worry. I'm
And
sure
one
everything
more-
makes perfect sense.
One more flashing lights warning here.
Okay.
Also, yeah,
This is
sorry, I'm
wild.
sorry for the bitrate. All right, so we play Mambo's Mambo, which we learned from some raving wizrobes in the underworld.
Of course.
And we save and quit. So, fun fact here, okay? That particular sequence right there, if I were to save and quit out from the doghouse, I would not have kept my capacity upgrades. I'm not sure why, but
Interesting.
then again, I don't know. I'm never sure why when it comes to this category. All right, so now we're actually gonna do something as intended.
Oh, what?
Actually, never mind. That's not that part yet. We go back to this part a bunch of times, but yeah, we're gonna unfortunately kill 3 innocent animals here to get
Aw.
Doghouse 3, and we're going to wrap around here
That was really
through
sad.
here and enter the keyhole to get into this portion here. So this is
Yes, this part of the game.
so this is actually a side scroller screen, which the game has me in overhead view, and I'm standing in grass for some reason
Yeah.
as well. But I'm going to transition up here. It's gonna bring me into like a slightly more recognizable version of level 2,
Oh, and there goes.
and
Oh,
I'm
okay,
going
we're back.
to keep transitioning down. And there we go. That's how you get the instrument.
Oh, it looks so perfect.
Yeah, it looks like an instrument, doesn't it?
Yeah. I
We
want to
caught
be like,
missing though.
break this down for me, but I understand.
Okay, so we are in Dungeon 2 right now, right? This is actually the Dungeon 3 instrument. Or excuse me, I'm sorry, no,
Enemies, though.
no.
That's amazing. Okay.
That's the conch horn. That's the Dungeon 2 instrument, sorry. But we're going to come out of Dungeon 3 because,
Uh-huh.
you know, sense was made.
Right.
Sense was always made in this category. Now we're going to dig up a seashell here. I don't want to take damage, but I did anyway. Cool.
Oh.
Grab a seashell there, bonk this tree, get a seashell here.
Okay.
The seashells are for getting the sword upgrade later.
Okay, right.
All right, so now we're going to do something as intended. We're going to learn Battle of the Windfish as intended by just talking to Marin in Mabe Village.
Right, because you actually have the ocarina.
Yes.
You're close enough, so might as well.
But I actually have chat open for this run,
Uh-huh.
just so I can see like people's reactions, and it's
There we-
great. Because this run is really fun to show people for the first time.
Yeah, because they're like, what?
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I actually try not to do too much research actually into the runs that I'm watching. Like I've seen parts of your run before, but you know, a lot of times you stream late. I'm always in the middle of something, always.
Yeah.
So I actually like staying more blind to the runs that I am going to be viewing, because then it makes it, I mean, first of all, more genuine experience for my reactions. But second of all,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You want to have a genuine reaction.
yeah, I get to have more of that like actual explain like I'm 5 kind of situation. Like, okay, really help me out, because I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I already get this, because it's, you know, it's for anybody watching. Like, we want to make sure that everybody understands.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this, like we're back into the
Yep, we're back
pit
in
of-
hell. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Better way to put it.
so basically, we are back in Doghouse 3 now. We didn't kill any enemies from now until the last time, so we're still in Doghouse 3. We're going to enter the candle. There we go. And we're going to press that button. Grab this. So that looked like the bracelet, right? That looked like an L2 bracelet, maybe. It was actually the face key.
Of course.
I don't know why. Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, nothing makes sense anymore.
No explanation
So-
necessary for this one.
We're gonna kill the enemies in this room and get what looks like a golden leaf, but it's actually the bird
A
key.
different key, yeah.
So yeah, like I said before, there are a bunch of invisible barriers and triggers. Triggers are especially dangerous because, especially in this part right here. I like to call this part Pepto-Bismol, by the way, because it's very pink.
Yes, I can do that. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so like if
Oh
I
my
were to
God.
enter the bottom of that screen anywhere else, but like in the middle where I did,
Mhm.
I would have transitioned to the library in Mabe Village.
Okay, so it would have put you
Like, I
back
would just
into an
come out
actual
there.
location.
Yep. Oh, say hello to the anglerfish, by the way.
Oh, oh no. So I feel like in those what?
Yeah, so
Wait,
now we're in Dungeon 4. We just got the Dungeon 4 instrument.
so how are you running over walls and stuff if it's trying to put
I
you
don't know.
back? Okay, so it tries to put you back in a real space, but it doesn't know what physics
Yeah.
are anymore.
It doesn't know anything anymore.
And there are some birds.
It does, yeah. Yep, birds, telephones, what looks like dogs.
Oh, they are
And we're on our merry way.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we get to experience some normalcy for a second. We have the flippers, by the way. That's fine. We're gonna experience some normalcy for a little bit, and
Yeah. Do you remember that time we got flippers? Me too. Totally.
So you know what's really normal too? Killing 90 enemies in the overworld to overflow data to get a tunic.
Uh-huh.
That's normal, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do something called super swimming, and this is what I was mentioning earlier. So I can just like walk everywhere now. So essentially what I did was I'll show it to you again. Essentially what I did was I did a super jump, but I'm in water, so I never land. I never actually land. I just stay in the water. So when you clip into a wall in the water and do the same thing as you would during a super jump, so that happens, and I can just walk everywhere now.
Okay.
And that is very useful.
You're gonna float over.
Yep. Essentially. So
okay, can you super jump in the water in Link's Awakening to do something similar?
In which version?
I'm sorry, in the original version. Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah, you can do that. It's just banned. It's banned in that category.
Oh, it's one of the this doesn't count things. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, essentially. So what I'm doing now is I have a specific kill route for enemies, and I have to kill 90 enemies. Enemies 87, 88, and 90 are all important to have correct. Actually, I can switch up the last one. I can switch up 90 to get a fake tunic, which you will see. But essentially, 87 and 88 are really important to kill like the correct enemies in those in that correct order in order to get the correct pictures in my inventory. Which sounds really weird because it is, but it's essentially just all overflowed data, which is making that happen. Because I guess the game doesn't really expect you to kill 90 enemies in the overworld without transitioning.
Or be able to walk over literally any surface.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. I really want a heart, actually. I need to be careful here. Because dying is not great here. Dying would not be good. The next heart I see, I'm going to get.
You don't want the heart container? Would that mess it up?
No, I don't want the heart container.
Okay.
I could get it, but it wouldn't refill my health.
Really?
Yeah. Pieces of heart don't refill your health in the originals. They do in LADX. Excuse me. They do in Link's Awakening for the Switch.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just got Piece of Power, which is really nice.
Right.
Because again, it increases your movement speed. There's the heart. There we go.
There you go. You're safe.
Yeah, so again, very specific kill route here, and I need to make sure that every enemy dies completely, or else it won't count as a kill. So like by dying completely, I mean having the animation for it dying actually finish completely
before you go off screen.
Yeah, it's easy to lose a run to that. You don't want to miscount here.
Okay.
And by miscounting, I mean just like kind of not killing something. I'm not really counting. I'm just like killing specific things. Give me the heart.
He started to transform.
What's it? Oh yeah. So again, so the game does not the game does not expect you to transition from like a room with a solid wall on its transition to the room past that. So when that happens, the assets don't load properly, or the assets like. I guess the game is made in such a way where like you don't ever see that if you transition normally. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna do a safe strat here. I'm gonna kill Landmola, and then I'm going to equip the hook shot so I can just stand here and safely do this. Like, this is not the fastest way to do this, but oh, it fell down the hole. Okay, so I guess I'll come back and get that later.
Oh no!
I'm coming back to get that later so I don't ruin my kill route. That's a shame. Yeah, that can happen. So like when you use the hook shot to pull something to you and it touches a hole, it will fall down the hole.
Oh,
I did not take that into account. But anyway,
that's a
let's just
shame.
continue our kill route. It's fine. It's not a huge deal. I'll just come back and get it later when convenient. All right, so yeah, we have like a bunch of even some glitched enemies are making an appearance, but
I did not know this was the screen directly left of that.
oh yeah, it is. Yeah, honestly though, like the people who designed this game did a super good job of like making the world feel super expansive, but it's actually just kind of crammed into like I think it's what like I forget exactly how many screens by how many screens it is.
Right.
And I guess I'll open my map in a little bit to figure out.
Is this the right side? Did you wrap around to this?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Okay,
like
okay,
so
okay. That's what I thought.
if you transition from the extreme far left of the map to the extreme or if you transition left from there, you'll wrap around to the right.
To the right, yeah. Okay, so it does
Yep.
wrap around. That's what I thought. Based on
All
where
right.
this is. Just joined.
So this
What?
next screen is incredibly important.
Okay.
So this is where kills 87, 88, and 90 will come in.
Right. Okay.
I want 87 and 88 to be the top right and bottom right Zols, or gels rather, respectively. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to kill this first. I'm going to kill that first and that second. And then that and that. And we got a nice, shiny, super cool blue
what?
tunic that actually has exactly no function besides just looking cool. It doesn't actually do anything else. So
You have
in
to
runs,
get it for the run.
oh yeah, I had to do it for the show.
Okay.
You can get the normal blue tunic, which will have the damage you take, like increase your defense. But this is cooler. I think my PB in this category actually got this tunic by accident. Funny enough.
This is so wild.
All right, so we get the Richard picture there. That's how we know we did that correctly. So we save and quit to wind up back here, and we super swim to come up here. We
So
grab the
basically,
shell.
you want to go do that glitch whenever necessary to be able to walk on everything now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We're about to do one more super swim after this, so we're gonna get this picture, and then we're gonna super swim again one more time, and then we're gonna go into a cave and super swim from there. And that's where one of the more interesting parts of the run happens.
Somebody said that they just joined. Why can we walk through walls? So we just explained earlier, but
yeah, okay, I'll explain it again. So super swimming, this is a glitch called super swimming. What a super swim is oh god, so I would have to explain like how ledge mechanics work. So ledge mechanics are what basically layers don't exist in this game, but they're kind of an illusion. In reality, they're barriers that make Link no clip sort of temporarily. So when Link lands, it gets rid of the no clip. However, if you trick the game into thinking that you're jumping off a cliff while you're in water, Link never actually lands, and therefore you maintain that no clip state. And therefore, you can walk over everything.
Does that make sense? If not, I can try a simple baby version.
Basically, yeah.
What's the catch?
Well, the one catch is that you cannot transition downwards, or else you'll crash the game.
Oh, so you can only go up, left, and right.
Yep. But that's okay, because if we need to go down, we can just
go all the way up.
Yeah, just go all the way up, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I want to kill 2 enemies here. There we go. Just to maintain a kill count, or like, know where my kill count is. So here, super swim right here as well. There we go. Okay, so now we're just kind of like going through this part of the run. This is one of my favorite parts of the run. So you get a picture in this game, and we need all the pictures, but you get a picture in this game for stealing an item from the shop.
Oh.
There we go. There's our stolen item.
Oh.
So we got a picture from that. and also some help from the witch to
Oh, that was the end.
you know. Yep. Well, that was it was so it's not the end. It's not the end of the run or anything.
It would
But
take
this
you
is
somewhere
where
else.
this is the final boss screen.
Oh.
So we get this nice little happy, weird remix of the Mave Village theme,
Okay.
which is really cool. But honestly, frankly, I'm terrified. I am out of here. So we're just gonna beeline straight north. Yeah, we don't want to fight the final boss yet.
Right. Collecting
And
everything.
even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to. Right there, the boss never actually like spawns properly, so you wouldn't be able to hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I'm gonna bomb trigger here to essentially skip most of the trading sequence. So 100%. So this is the fisherman screen where you're supposed to get the bra dug up for you, and
Yeah, you're under
so there we go. We get that
Under the
just by bomb
bridge, right?
triggering. Yeah, this is the under the bridge screen.
Mhm.
That we definitely did not access the normal way. And there happens to be a hole right here that you can
Yeah.
actually just drop a bomb into twice in 4 frames to bomb trigger.
Okay. Which we learned in the first game.
Yes, yeah, we learned that from the first game exactly.
There's super jumping and bomb triggers. We do know that already.
Yep. So I'm gonna bomb trigger a bunch on this next screen, but I needed to kill that enemy first. Some enemies need to be killed before you initiate bomb triggers, or else they just kind of won't work.
Okay.
But this screen is where I'm gonna get the level 2 sword. This is the Seashell Mansion.
Oh.
Hopefully I have
Oh
all
yeah.
the shells I need.
Okay. I see
do.
the animation coming up. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
Sure.
that's the meter on the right that comes up, or the
Right.
flowers. Sure. For whatever reason, the presents are fine. The presents are like totally like normal.
It's trying to make the shape of the room.
Yeah. Well, the presents would be normal if you couldn't bomb trigger and spawn more than one of them.
Uh huh.
2, 3. I need to count here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that should be 10. Hopefully it's 10. And now if I bomb trigger one more time, so that's seashell duping, by the way. That was found by Green Tunic.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
dude.
so
Okay, got it.
basically we just use bomb triggers to make the cutscene happen again and again and again and again until we have 20 seashells, and that's how many you need for the sword. Or whatever this is. Whatever this thing is. Doesn't look like a sword.
Look, dude, look, there's sword beams coming out of it. Definitely a sword.
Yep, definitely a sword. Okay, this next part too. Flashing lights warning. This next also bitrate killer. So just be aware that we're gonna learn the Frog Song of Soul on this next screen, but we definitely do not learn it in the traditional way. So just be aware of the warning here.
Okay. I would be doing the thing where I try to ask questions and catch you doing certain things and figure it out, but I don't think that's something I can really do.
Not with this.
I don't.
The
think I
song's a banger, by the way. Just listen to the song.
Oh my gosh. My
All
main
right,
question
so we
is
have
like,
the Frog Song of Soul now.
like, what? That's my question. What?
I don't know. That's my
Oh,
answer.
okay. All right. Good show.
Basically, so you find like that's obviously we found the room where the Frog Song of Soul is learned in the submaps, and when you enter it from there, it just kind of triggers the cutscene automatically. By the way, Link's sprite is looking kind of glitchy right now. That's cool. Stuff is happening. Stuff is definitely starting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the good news is we don't have to save and quit or anything because our kill count is already 3. So we're gonna do something. We're gonna do the doghouse glitch, but we're not gonna actually use the doghouse. Instead, we're gonna use this portal right here, or this transition. We're gonna enter the back of it to enter Dungeon 3. So we're in an empty room in Dungeon 3. Now we're in a normal room. All right, so this room is interesting. Besides for the fact that there are just a bunch of bow wows everywhere. you know, you got to kill a bunch of bowling balls here. So you kill these things, a key drops. Okay, that key is actually pretty special. Watch my health. So as soon as I touch this wall right here, I'm going to transition to another part of Dungeon 3 for some reason. But watch my health as I do so.
All heart pieces. Nailed it. For all heart containers.
So that is how, and again, nothing in this run has any source requirement whatsoever. You can get items however you can, however you want. That's how we get all our health.
Yeah, this is really fascinating because, like, knowing what I do about Ocarina of Time, like, I'm seeing similarities, which is so funny because these are, yeah, they're both Zelda games. So you're like, oh, I get it. You know, Zelda, you can, you know, you just break it so much you can find things where you're not supposed to find them, etc. But these are wildly different engines. Like, different time periods, different engines. Like, it's kind of wild how you were able to, within the same series, find a similar type of mechanic to just break and like get all kinds of items, and yet
exactly. Exactly.
Cool.
So I
Really
saved and quit after Dungeon 3 in order to reset my kill count because I think I was at 8 kills or 9 kills maybe instead of the 3 I need. So I got back to 3 kills by saving quitting, killing 3 enemies. Right here, so we're going to see a different part of the doghouse now besides what we have. Instead of going up or left, we're going to go down and access this. So we just saw a little bit of Candlelit Castle.
This doesn't matter because you're not doing the super swim thing. You can go down and it's okay.
Oh yeah. Like that's only a thing if you're in Super Swim state.
Right.
For sure. So now we're in Dungeon 7.
Yes, I remember.
Transition by accident.
The extra room.
Yep, there's the unused room again that we got the L2 bracelet in last time. And that's our instrument.
Okay.
So we got the whatever this is. What is this thing? It's just a box with 4 X's. I don't know.
Well, there's no ICS here, unfortunately, huh?
ICS exists in this game. However, it's not as practical as it is in LA.
Okay.
Because you need both the mushroom and an empty ocarina to do it. And we get neither of those in the 80% no whoop run, which is or 80% no whoop, meaning no wrong warp, no out of bounds, which is the main category of this game. It's sort of like the sister category to warpless for LA. All right, so you'll notice here I'm gonna do something called a lava swim. Lava swims, I believe, were found by excuse me, let me just refer to my notes here. Sorry.
You're good.
They're found by Amurlas, like way back, like very long time ago. So I landed in the lava just now. So I'm gonna drown in the lava, right? No, I'm gonna transition and then come back. So now I'm swimming in the lava. That happens if you transition. If you transition and like land in the lava on the same frame or like one frame after another, you will transition instead of drowning, and the game will just let you swim in the lava. It's sort of similar.
Could you do that casually as well?
You can, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. But it's subpixel dependent. So it's not 100%. However, the setup I use, I don't think I've ever missed it. So like the subpixels just must not be very changed, like from the entrance to there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just basically super swam using the lava, and which allowed us to go right to the thunder drum. As long as you move around Hothead, though.
How many do we have now? How many instruments do we already have?
We have 5 instruments.
Okay. We only need 3 more.
Yep.
Are we missing any other items?
We are missing the magnifying lens, which we're about to go get right now. We're also missing this. We're also missing this item right here, the tail key, which we're about to just kind of get right now. Using a nice little boots buffer trick to skip the owl that's supposed to come in as well. So we are about to actually do some fast travel using, using this particular sub map. So we're just gonna super jump up and out of bounds here.
Okay, right.
and just run on the walls. And again, all these rooms are connected. So we're just gonna run over here, and we're gonna get back in bounds here, and come out here near Martha's Bay.
I was gonna ask why you don't do that in the original, but I guess you don't need to go here.
So
Like
in
in
the
Warpless?
original, I believe the reason you can't do that is because it would be considered something called a system transition. A system transition is when you when you go from one area to another. That you're just not supposed to be able to.
Oh, okay. So it's
Essentially,
against
so
the
like
rules.
you can't use that for like fast overworld travel, basically. Long story
Okay.
short,
Bummer.
or to transition between from dungeon to dungeon. You can only stay in the dungeon.
Okay. Oh, here's actually the bridge.
Yeah, here's what that screen was supposed to look like, where we bomb triggered for the bra, but
Don't you remember?
so
we
we-
were just here.
exactly. So we're here to get a picture now, though. This is one of our last few pictures. I think we have 2 left after this. No, I haven't gotten the angler key yet from the desert. I will find the time to do that before the end of the run.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah.
You have to collect that. It's okay. It's not like we're going for world record. pace
No,
right now.
yeah. It's not like this is an official run or anything anyway, but
Yeah.
that's a shame. Got blocked off. That's
We're
fine.
doing like a speed jog together where we're going slow enough so we can talk. That's what
Yeah,
it's
essentially.
like.
This isn't even really a speed run. It's just kind of a showcase, but it's
Yeah.
very far from an official run either way. Like, but I will get
Right.
it just to get it. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, pause there. All right, so we're gonna do something very similar, and you can see when I do certain actions. I don't know why this happens, but when I do certain actions, the item sprites in my HUD like flicker or glitch out sometimes.
I'm
Alright, so we're gonna bomb arrow open this wall, and then we're going to. God, my menu is totally different from what I'm used to in a run. That's fine. We're gonna trade the shovel for the boomerang. So that is, I think that's actually the
right.
last item that we get, if I'm not mistaken.
we got the magnifying glass.
Yep, we
Okay,
got
so
the
we need
glass,
to-
we got the boomerang.
We need the 3 instruments and the key.
That is correct. I think we also need 2 more pictures as well,
Okay.
which we actually get legitimately, believe it or not.
Ye
You can
old-
believe that.
Ye old speed jog world record. Yes, and yes, getting it legitimately is. It seems like it's very rare.
Oh, it's actually 4 more pictures. I forgot about these.
Okay.
I'm digging Link's new look as well.
Mhm.
In these pictures.
Looks pretty good.
I think he calls it the Grinch. Alright, so there's our Bowa picture. We're gonna go immediately down south the screen to get Old Man Orira's picture as well by just kind of pressing up against the window there.
Like you're peeking.
Yep, basically we're spying, and he's actually yeah, Orira's introverted, but he's a character apparently. All right, so we're about to get Dungeon 6's instrument. Whoops, a little too high there. So this looks very much like how we got Dungeon 4's instrument, except right
Right.
here, instead of going to the right, we're gonna go up.
Okay.
This. See, I'm moving in very specific ways to avoid that, for instance,
Over
and
the
that.
walls.
Yep. So like I just like got up to a keyhole or something. At least according to the game.
There's something there. We don't know what.
There's something there. Alright, so
Yeah,
now we are
exactly.
in Dungeon 6.
Okay.
These particular like scrolls, by the way, I'm actually alternating holding down versus holding not down versus holding like neutral on the D-pad.
Oh, okay.
For whatever reason,
Missing though.
if you for whatever reason, if you don't do that, if you don't alternate like that, you'll like swim in the wall instead of like immediately transitioning.
Interesting.
It's very strange. Like you'll notice how like in that like side scroller screen, which I think is a screen in D1 that we hopefully never see.
Yeah.
I was actually like swimming for a point.
Mhm.
in that
I
in that
saw.
screen.
I see that he kind of like swings a little bit on and off when you're moving around. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that can happen.
Mhm.
All right, so
Yeah, he's not gotten the key yet. Right.
yeah, I'm not even really sure I care that much about the key. I might get it. I might get it. We'll see. All right, so I'm gonna press this button here. This button opens the door, but we're not going through that door. It actually has a separate purpose. There's something
Okay.
following us now.
Oh, is this supposed to be
Oh,
Marin?
that is not good.
Uh-oh.
Oops. I somehow bonked on the wall and now I'm here. But it was Marin.
Yeah,
Marin
it was
was the thing
Marin.
that was following
Sorry.
me.
Okay.
Yep. All right, let's try that again. So that was Doghouse 3. Let's go ahead and one. Yeah, it's a pain. That can happen sometimes. That's like the most dangerous part of this
Yeah.
run. Is just the fact that like, you know, you can if you mismove even slightly at some points, you're gonna like accidentally hit a trigger.
Mhm.
Let's try that again. This time we do not need to hit the button this time. Re-equip that. We'll just transition right over. Hopefully do this more cleanly this time. There we go. That's better.
Nice.
It was kind of
I
scary.
feel like the answer is no. But
Can I fix this? Can I fix this? I can. Cool. Okay.
ooh.
All right. There's Dungeon 5's instrument. That's one of the more tricky movements to get down.
Mhm.
But
For sure. Okay, so I
Yeah.
feel like the answer is no, but is there anything from these games that you use in LAS? The Switch version for chat.
not much.
Yeah.
Like
Anything.
some things like there are strats that you can do in this game very easily that are more difficult but still possible in LAS.
Okay. Anything that you
Uh,
actually use?
The
Just
D
being
okay, so
possible?
the D4 cross jump that I do, like around that cross, there's
Oh,
actually
yeah.
a way to bomb jump around that.
Okay.
So that was actually found like just not quite. Yeah, I think it was actually found last year because I ran LAS
Mhm.
at HDQ 2020, and I don't
Right.
think that was a thing back then. So it was found just last year. But yeah, so you can do that. It's just harder. It's just harder and requires a very specific angle, timing, etc. Whereas in LADX, you can just kind of like jump and hold up and you make it. but
Yeah, right.
but yeah, there are certain things that did carry over, so that's cool.
Interesting.
All right, so we're about to go grab our last instrument, which is Dungeon 1.
So is Marin with us for the rest of the game?
Yes.
Okay.
And we just needed Marin for that photo as well as the last photo that we get.
Oh,
Tricky
okay.
little jump here. Okay, we can still save that. There we go. Cool.
Oh, okay, nice.
So yeah, we actually wrapped up around the screen, ended up in the candle, but fortunately you can save that. So fortunately. So that's our last instrument. So if I wanted to say screw it and not get the angler key, there would only be one thing left in the run to do before doing the final boss.
What is the last thing left otherwise?
There's one more picture to get. That's just right on the way to the doghouse.
We're so
So-
close. We might as well get the key.
Yeah, for sure. I'll probably get that, and then yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I can get it.
Does anybody
can
have
grab
any
it.
questions?
Yeah, I can definitely use that time to answer questions as
Yeah.
well if anybody has any.
Because my goodness. I have a
Also, it's really funny that the owl comes and talks to you after you've gotten your last instrument, when technically you've gotten your first instrument. Like you've technically gotten instrument number 1.
Yeah.
So the owl comes and talks to you because that's the flag for him to appear.
Like you did it.
All right, how do I? All right, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this
Yeah.
to
go
actually
grab
get
the
there,
key.
and I think it's the warp portal here. I don't know if I've even unlocked any more portals. Forget. I think the D4 portal, which
We're gonna find
yeah,
out.
here we go. I can super swim from here. Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, that'll make it easier. What?
Yeah, it's
Okay. Question 1. Why is he blue? We gotta
Why
tune
is he blue? Because Do you want the short answer or do you want the long answer? Oh, by the way, check out this this color.
Now he blends in with the column.
Yep.
Oh, then he's blue again. Okay.
Camouflage.
Okay.
And we're here,
Ready?
by the way. Oh, right. Okay, Landmola doesn't even spawn, right?
Right.
So yeah, all right. There's the angler key. Now we're gonna go. So
Perfect.
all right, Link is super blue because this is the tunic that I opted to get. Where am I going? This is the tunic that I opted to get. So you have a choice of tunics based on what enemies you kill in which order. Oops, I got Al. Hello, Al. And so there's a section in the game, the section where you get the tunic, or where you get, like, you know, you glitch into a tunic. Oh, hello, Walrus. Did I just soft lock? I totally just soft locked. I don't know my way out of here. I think I can. Oh, I can Mambo. You know what? You know what? Let's just do the cutscene manually. We'll go up and open the egg the right way.
Okay.
The right way. Since we're here, we might as well. We'll see the
Yeah.
cutscene again too.
Huh.
But okay. So in that section that I just mentioned, you have to kill 90 enemies to get a tunic, and whichever enemy you kill for your 90th, whichever enemy you kill for your 90th kill determines which tunic you get.
Okay.
And I chose this one because it's cool. It's a tunic that you're obviously never meant to see in the game, and it has no actual function, but it is it's a thing.
Okay, yeah, it counts for a tunic.
Yeah, the short answer is it's our tunic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Right.
so
Makes sense.
I have a really funny fact about this particular cutscene, by the way. Marin
Okay.
just kind of assumed, like, I don't know why this happens, but Marin assumes that you don't have any songs in your ocarina, and when that happens, Marin says, "Not very good." Like, she like critiques your play.
Oh my god.
You just played her song in front of her,
She's like,
and she
I don't
told
like it.
you you're not very good.
Yeah, I don't like it. Either that or she's like, wow, you played that really poorly that I tried to teach you. Doing me a huge injustice right now. One or the other.
All right, so because everything is going to be exactly the same, or almost exactly the same, as far as manipulations and stuff go for this version.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, actually, let me see. I do have 12 out of 12 photos,
Okay.
which is the menu that's coming up. 12 out of 12, and also the the thing that appears in the top left of that menu, that's the sprite for our tunic within the menu. So yeah, we're obviously not supposed to have that tunic.
Right. Interesting.
The only thing that's different is something called Death Eye Skip, which you can. Oh, that's the wrong way. You can use the ocarina. All right, so this is going to be really strange, but you can use the ocarina and play the ocarina on the same frame that one of Ganon's bats is supposed to charge at you. And what that does is it freezes the bat in place. And when that happens, the bat lingers there forever. It just stays there. Oh, I don't. Okay, I might have messed this up. Oh well, doesn't really matter. The bat lingers there. And when Death Eye eventually comes on the screen, the game sees the keys, which has a health of 0, and just says, okay, Death Eye's dead. And Death Eye just dies. And the stairs spawn, while Death Eye is still on the screen.
Interesting.
But the game assumes he's dead. It's a very strange glitch.
Is Marin the final boss?
I mean, if you try hard enough, Marin probably can be the final boss. I wouldn't put it past this game.
Yeah, I know. After seeing what I've seen tonight.
Oh, right. Yeah, I paused, so the minute failed. Oh, well. I don't want to take too much more damage, so I'm going to try and react here. Nope. Also, you might have noticed that my health has been low beeping this whole time.
Yeah.
I think it's because I actually have more than the maximum amount of hearts, and that just kind of happens when you have more than 14 hearts.
Gotcha.
All right, I need to concentrate here for Death Eye Skip, so I'm going to
Sure.
try to play the ocarina on the right frame. What? That was weird. I'm going to guess that's 4. Is that right? It wasn't right. Okay. Oh well. So I failed it. That's fine. But anyway, yeah, that was strange because I'm supposed to like gauge where the like I'm supposed to use where the bat is, like the bat that's traveling at me, to determine how many frames I need to delay my ocarina by. But it is frame perfect, and it has a chance to not work even if you do most of the things right. So, all right. So the good thing about missing that though is that I can show off this. So Death Eye is a one-shot with Boomerang.
What?
Fun fact. Yeah, Death Eye is a one-shot with Boomerang. Boomerang is OP.
Boomerang is
And
OP.
that is,
What are they using Boomerang
yeah.
in?
And
I'm
that
using
is the
Boomerang in
run.
Something else.
And time.
Nice.
That is Link's Awakening DX 100% no restrictions.
That's awesome.
And the shenanigans are not over yet.
Was it LAS? I can't wait. Now he has no form.
This is actually the last glitch to showcase. When I said shenanigans are not over yet, this is what I meant. There's nothing else that happens after this.
Yeah, uh-huh.
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 But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed those runs. This was a lot of fun, and thanks again for having me on.
This was really cool.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, for those who actually have like questions about how the run went, like anything about these runs, feel free to ask now. This is the perfect time.
Yeah,
do you
for sure.
actually have anything else to show off?
Yeah,
Or
before if people do have questions, that is awesome. I will do my best to answer what I can. But first I want to shout out a few people. As far as routing, finding things for this particular category goes, I want to shout out a few people. I want to shout out Veltoge, Seisei, Artemis251, who did like a bunch of routing like way back, like in ancient times, essentially, for like Doghouse 3 and Doghouse 4. So shout outs to Artemis, Geocob, Emirlaz, Gideon, Tompa, Green Tunic, Alos, Riddler, and Flockcher. And last but not least, I want to thank Astronomus for keeping the history sheet intact so that I could very easily reference who found each of the glitches that we use and each of the strats and routing that we use. So like huge thanks to her as well. And yeah, thanks everyone for coming out. Thanks for watching. And this has been an honor to be on the show. Thank you very much.
This has been really cool. This is really cool. I like it a lot. Okay, I'm seeing some jokes in chat. Is there an ongoing search for ways to make the run even more, I guess, shenanigans filled?
Yeah, there has been. I mean, like strats are always developing. I think the category is at a little bit of a lull right now.
Okay.
But like since the time when I started running this game again, or this category again, there have been quite a few things found. Like the overworld kill route has been completely rerouted in a way where like we can kill 90 enemies faster now.
Oh, nice.
And we can reliably get blue tunic as well, which is really nice for the run because weirdly enough, like there's a tunic called I think it's called the damage tunic, which doubles your damage. But double damage, honestly, once you get the L2 sword, isn't really that useful in this run. It's really not useful.
Interesting.
It saves only a tiny bit of time on like one phase of the final fight.
Okay.
And yeah, like you saw how low health I was like pretty much throughout the entire run, right?
Right, yes.
And just basically oh cool, Pointer's in the chat. Hey, what's going on? And it's oh my god, what was I talking about?
With the sword value, like the power
Oh yeah,
boost.
thank you. Yeah, but you want defense basically. Defense I think is genuinely more useful than offense. For like pretty much the majority of the run, especially the part right after you get the tunic.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
There was another question. So I'm like trying to think at this same thing at the same time. Oh, it's I know the remake of Link's Awakening is not a one-to-one remake, but is the Death Eye glitch in it?
No, you mean Death Eye Skip? Or do you mean like the boomerang one shot?
Oh, either. I want to know about either.
Either way, neither of them are actually in
Oh,
it.
neither. Okay, well that would have been
yeah,
easy.
yeah, Death Eye Skip is not a thing in LAS, unfortunately. And the boomerang, they super nerfed the boomerang, and as well as the magic rod in the remake. So
Right.
like you can't like you can't burn things. Like you can't just completely obliterate things with the magic rod anymore,
Right.
which is unfortunate. But
Yeah, like there were some nice quality of life upgrades in it, but then then there's things like that, which for speedrunning isn't always as fun. Then I would say there was a 3-heart run without tunics or any upgrades. Is that an interesting run, would you say?
3-heart without tunics or upgrades. Well, you need a couple. You need at least a few of the upgrades. You need like the L2 bracelet. You need, as long as you're talking about like tunics, like not upgrading tunics. Yeah, people have done that. I'm pretty sure. There's actually a. Actually, as far as 3 hearts go, I'm not sure, but there's actually a category for the remake called Hero Mode.
Okay.
Which you will. So in Hero Mode, hearts never drop. You never see any like health refills except for heart containers at the end of each dungeon, or if you pick up a piece of heart. But I think that's the closest thing we have to like a speedrun category.
Okay.
For that, but like yeah, I'm not sure if anybody speedruns like 3 hearts. It's
Yeah, I think
hard
that's right.
actually because like without glitches, without like major glitches, you can't actually finish the game with 3 hearts. Because the game forces you to pick up heart containers on bosses.
Oh, in order to like have it progress?
Yeah, yeah. So the
Yeah,
game
like
forces you to pick up the heart, and then the door opens for the instrument.
oh, the door opens after, right? Okay, okay.
Yeah, that is not the case, however, in LAS. By LAS, I mean the Switch version. In the Switch version,
Right.
the door just opens. You don't need to collect the heart or anything. But
Okay,
in this
so you could do
version,
it
you do.
in that one theoretically. Another question: what soft locks can you trigger, and what would happen if you got another heart container after that key thing? That makes sense.
So I don't think that getting into the heart container would really do anything. Because the game is already essentially like overflowed the health. I don't know if it's an overflow or an underflow, honestly. I think it's an overflow, but essentially I think what's happening with the hearts is you get 14 hearts. So like say you have 14 hearts and you get another heart container, which is the thing you can do. When you do that, you will still have full health, but you'll be beeping. Like your health will be beeping as if you had low health. I think that's because your health has actually overflowed from a certain number to like 0 or below 0, and it thinks you have low health. So I don't think getting an extra heart container would actually do anything noticeable, except maybe refill your health. But I think
Okay.
you'd still be beeping.
What about like triggering other soft locks? Looks like there's
Trigger?
probably a lot you can do in terms of getting a soft lock
I
in this
mean,
game.
it's very easy to intentionally soft lock in this game.
Right.
What would you what are there any like suggestions to try to soft lock? Like anything you want me to do? Because I honestly like, so a really easy soft lock. Like let me actually go back to
Yeah, I was gonna say this is more of a chat-based question. I haven't thought about it myself.
yeah, this is also more of a job for LA than LADX. So like you can soft lock the game within, I don't know, within 40 seconds in this
Perfect.
game,
Thank you.
by just like doing a select map glitch and like going out of bounds in the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, that
So
makes
or
sense.
even like in a tree, for instance.
Let me see. Oh, any good tricks, glitches that are in the remake? We did go over that a little bit earlier. There isn't really nothing. It doesn't sound like there's anything too big. Okay, and you already soft locked.
Not
Oh, no,
quite
you
actually.
did.
If you mistime that,
Oh.
you soft lock. But
Oh.
let me actually do one.
Oh, this is wrong.
So right,
This is already wrong.
there we go. Okay, that's a soft lock. There we go.
There you
it's
go.
incredibly easy with LA to soft lock.
Yeah.
Now I can save and quit out of this. I can open the save and quit menu and save and quit. But this is more fun.
Otherwise, you can just sit there and then it's fine. And
Yeah,
you don't lose any
exactly.
health, so you can't. You don't die or anything.
Hmm.
Somebody asked about did he show off the cuckoo boomerang hover trick?
The
I don't
boomerang.
think so.
Wait.
There's like-
Say that again.
Cuckoo boomerang hover trick? I
Coo?
don't know about that. Yeah, like one of the chickens. I don't know. maybe that's not-
Oh, Coco. I don't.
Oh, sorry, I say it wrong. I say it way differently.
No, let's see. I don't know. I don't know that one actually.
I guess it's not very run relevant, and that's okay. Let me
No,
see.
I can like. No, like so. All right. I can show off like the way we do rooster skip in LADX. One
Sure.
thing that's not in either of these runs is something called hookshot jumping, because we don't get the hookshot in LA. LADX just gets the bird key in hell. So, but I can show that off. So, hookshot jumping in this game, or it's called hookshot jumping. Let me use Mambo to get back here. So, the way hookshot jumping works is you can actually jump off of seemingly thin air. This is the way we do rooster skip in LADX.
Okay.
You can jump off of thin air, like off of a pit, by using the hookshot on the pit, and you have one frame for it to retract back to you. So like you have one frame when it's retracting back to you to jump off of it, like to actually like get a solid jump. Can you move? There we go. Whatever.
Okay.
But I have to get there first.
Right. And we're just waiting a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, nice owl cutscene. If there are any other questions or anything, I'm
Yeah,
happy to
okay.
answer.
Somebody says where you pick up the rooster after throwing the boomerang.
Pick up
we
the
could-
rooster after throwing the boomerang. I can test that along with rooster skip because there's the
Yeah,
rooster
and then
houses right
The
there.
boomerang hovers beneath you. That's cool.
Oh, that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You could do that without a Coco, but only briefly, I think. But a Coco helps you to like have Link just never collect it. But yeah, I can do this. Like I can throw the boomerang and then jump right before I collect it, and it'll just like hover there. See for a second.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is
so I'm
that what
wondering
you
if-
mean?
Yeah, if you actually like have the rooster, then it like happens forever, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's called obstacle skip, by the way. That's the most important glitch in the game. It saves a quarter of a second. You have a couple pixel window to jump around the obstacle as opposed to dashing through it. Oh. Can you turn Link's sprite back to normal? Not on this file,
Marin walks on water.
unfortunately.
We learned today.
Yep. Oh yeah, Marin walks on water. So like, there's the Cuckoo house is right here.
Nice.
So let's pick you up or jump. He's having a blast. Let's have a blast with him. Wait.
Maybe.
Oh, I get it. I get it. It's Oh, it's the
like trying this
rooster.
right
It's the
now.
rooster. You need to use the rooster.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a Cuckoo, it's the rooster, which I can't. I can't use the rooster anymore,
Because we're
unfortunately.
doing the skip anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate, but yeah, I bet that's fun to do. I've never done that before. All right, so rooster skip in LADX utilizes at least 2 hookshot jumps.
Okay.
Careful jumps around here. Marin's not normally with you. Here, let's see. So you equip the hookshot. So I'm gonna try to jump. Like, so the hookshot's gonna go out to the left.
Okay.
It's gonna come back to me, and it's going to. There's gonna be a point where like it looks like it like hits Link in the nose. That's the frame I'm trying to jump on. And if I do it correctly, I should be able to jump to the left. And I'm missing it. You can buffer it too. I'm gonna buffer to save it just so that I don't have to like go all the way down. But yeah, that's what it looks like when done
Oh.
correctly. Go please. There we go.
Nice.
So
Oh wow.
that's Oakshot Jump. So that's how you do LA. Excuse me. That's how you do Rooster Skip in LADX.
In LDX, right?
Yeah. Let me try to do it a little bit cleaner this time.
Okay.
See if we can. But
This is really cool. Again, for anybody who's interested in learning these games, hopefully you've seen a couple of things that would be useful for you. I think there's less so in the category we just saw. I mean, you can learn that category, of course. It seems like a lot of memorization for those rooms, but there were definitely some strats that I've seen in both sides, or like both versions of the game that kind of carry over. So, you can
yeah.
pick, I want to say pick your poison, but it's not pick your poison because these are both really cool.
No, let's pick your fun.
Yeah, pick your whatever type of food that you actually really like. But yeah, hopefully this has been educational for you all, and lots of cool things for you to learn. Again, like this is why like having this moment here too it's cool to see. It seems like is this more difficult than the mushroom strat from
It is, yeah. Yeah, just because the mushroom like you can pretty much like just automatically clip into the wall, but this is a double frame perfect trick.
okay.
Like it's a frame perfect trick twice, and I got one of them and then immediately failed the next one. Cool. Happens. It's actually been a while since I've done this version of Rooster Skip in a run setting, because it's been a while since I've run a category that has like this version of it. I'm a little bit rusty at it. My apologies.
Well, we did see you do it once. Just with some
Yeah, there we go. There's an
Oh, nice.
one.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like when there's no buffer.
That's super neat. All right. Okay, I think we've gotten like some good viewing of both of these games. So I figured we could do a little wrap up real quick. Been really cool.
Sure, absolutely. This has been a lot of fun, and again, thanks for having me on, and thanks for watching this as well. Like, thanks for watching these runs. Like, this was super fun.
Yeah, I hope you all enjoy the show. I of course had a blast. I do like every show. Every show has been amazing. Link was blue because of a tunic that TJ got for him, with some extra fun mechanics on the side. So that's why I would explain it. So we got to both see, the regular glitches in the first game, and then this was just an experience that I was not expecting. I don't know, maybe I'm just missing this on one of your streams, or I don't know. You've been more grinding out the first one anyway, or the original, I mean. But
yeah, these games can sneak up on you if you don't know what they're capable of, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to be like, you know what games I want on the show? Zelda, because the Zelda community is so huge, and there's like so much. I
mean, if you need games for glitch showcases and explanations, Zelda is probably your franchise, your go-to franchise, honestly. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. So I'm trying to like space it out a little bit, but I thought it was time to like get another good Zelda, showcase in tonight, and TJH was the perfect person to ask, and I was really excited that you're coming on the show. I don't know, this is really cool. I love hearing about all this, and hopefully you all have enjoyed. So before I do any quick wrap up for just show things to remind people about, where can we find you? Tell us all of your social media. Talk about yourself. Advertise yourself. This is your time.
Cool. Well, my name's TGH, obviously. I stream over twitch.tv/TGH_SR. I normally do classic Zelda, but I do classic Zelda and other retro speedruns. So if you like that stuff, feel free to follow or check it out, or So.
And Celeste.
I speedrun each of the games of the Zelda trilogy, as well as Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Zelda 3. And I even sometimes, like, I haven't done it recently, but sometimes I do it all together and like do a full trilogy speedrun. So that's always fun. Cool. I'm a little bit rusty at that though. Been focusing mainly on DX as far as Zelda, or DX and LA as far as Zelda goes. But yeah, like I think I'm gonna shift back into like that sort of trilogy base soon. So
yeah,
feel free to follow if you like that.
I'm definitely gonna jump back in when you do get back into Zelda 2, because I would see you do things occasionally, but knew that it was gonna be something that I eventually played, which I have now played through.
Yeah,
This
that'll be very soon. That'll be very soon, by the way. I want to get back to
yeah.
Z2
So
really soon.
I'm gonna come back now when I get to see it in its true glory as a speedrun and not as me being horrible playing it casually. So that'll be really cool. But and then
It's such a fun speedrun.
yeah,
It's a
I'm
really
sure.
fun speedrun to get
It's
it down.
wildly different. A lot of games that are maybe difficult or frustrating casually are often really cool as a speedrun. You know,
Oh yeah, for sure.
like Mario Sunshine or like Sonic 06 or Zelda 2 or there's a lot of interesting stuff like that. Oh man, what was I gonna say? Oh, and your Twitter is just tgh_sr
Oh yeah,
as
it's the
well.
same as my Twitch. Yep, tgh_sr.
Cool. So yeah, make sure you go check out TGH in the evenings. For yeah, just like whenever he's live, go check him out, say hi. You can tell him that you came from here, or just go watch Zelda. Just go watch more Zelda stuff. Obviously, he knows what he's doing and what he's talking about. Yeah, and before we head out for the evening, as we are just a once a month show, feel free to tune in on the next episode. We are one Saturday a month at 7 p.m. Eastern. It usually varies, but right now we're just one Saturday a month at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we'll have the next show date up soon for you all. In the meantime, we have a Monday at also 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, is the community spotlight with the showcase of Path of Exile, which will be really cool. Also, next week we have April 11th, the Speed Seasons, which is featuring Link's Awakening DX. So that is any percent no system transition / wrong warp. So that's going to be quite a different category than we saw right now. You can go check that out next week. And if you want to learn anything else, any more info about our hotfix shows, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. And from there, you can find out more information about submitting your own runs to any of our weekly shows. Because, there's shows happening all the time now on GDQ. Plus, we also have SGDQ 2021 online coming up. So game submissions are open until April 11th. So if you want to submit a game for that, go ahead and do that. I know volunteer applications open soon as well. I need to make sure I pay attention to that because I love hosting. But yeah, so again, you can go to gamesdonequick.com if you want to get more information on like the dates and all of that stuff for the upcoming event. But should be really fun. Yeah, and we always enjoy doing the shows here. So check out the hotfix shows, check out the YouTube, check out, get excited for SGDQ, apply if you have games or you want to volunteer, things like that. And thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It's been lovely, and it's been lovely having you on TGH. Yeah.
Thank you so much. By the way, I just actually tuned into the stream for the first time, and Ray, did you do a thing?
Yes.
Ray totally did a thing. Ray absolutely did a thing.
What did Ray do?
So I once again I was joined here by THG. It's been great.
Hi, I'm THG.
Where?
Inside jokes. So I don't know. It's have fun with that. So you heard it here. This is THG. Thank you all for joining me and joining him as well.
You had to sneak it in. You had to sneak it in somewhere, didn't you? And this isn't even snuck in. This is just straight up in your face.
Straight on the overlay.
I saw that too. That's the first thing I saw, and I'm like, wait a minute, that looks weird.
Yeah, this is the other fun thing about hotfixes. I don't know, we just kind of mess around here, but it's great. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being
There's
here
the Amber
tonight.
cackle as well.
I am Kungfufruitcup. I don't speedrun enough, but I love having people on the show to show off awesome glitch heavy games. Feel free to tune in on the next episode of That's Never Happened Before, and we will see you all next time. Thank you so much, and feel free to stick around for the raid. Bye, everyone.
Bye.